getting sound. How about now?
There we go. We got sound now.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna redo the whole thing.
Let's
Yeah,
redo
Brian,
the whole thing.
I'm gonna redo the whole thing. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Fast Beer Radio. It is Friday night. It is 8 p.m. So you know what that means. We got the beers cracked. We got the gangs all here, and we are ready to talk about
Whatever
a bunch of
is in this.
stuff.
And we got brownies.
And we got brownies. So it's going to be a good night. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We a couple topics I want to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about last night. We're going to talk about some of the dog days of summer.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Have a
I was there. I'm sorry.
we'll have a conversation on what we like to do individually. Kind of go around the room here, and you guys in the audience talk about some things that you like to do. Dog days of summer. It's hot. It's the 90s all day long. These fish are sitting getting baked all day. How do you catch them? You know, what are we doing? So then we'll talk about big worms. Right? It's kind of a lesser talked about topic.
That's what she said.
Right? Fish care, that's a big one. And I'm going to really rely on some of you guys that are out there in the audience to talk about fish care because I've had, I don't want to say I struggle, but I've definitely had a couple instances where I've lost a few fish. You know, eventually, sometimes you're just going to lose them. But definitely want to talk about it. So, and then the last thing, which is the title of this video, is Not All Grass is Created Equal. We'll go into that and kind of wrap up the whole summer discussion thing here, and we will go from there.
The grass I fished last night was not equal to the grass you were fishing.
Right.
I do have oh man, I hope I can remember the link, but I do have when we get to that topic.
Is the
a
banner
live well
is the
up.
banner still up?
No, looks like it's gone.
No, it's gone. It's just delayed when you go to the Facebook, I'm pretty sure. Can you guys see the banner?
I think it's out now.
What did Brian say? What's the dickhead move I did? No.
Okay.
All right, the banner's gone.
They don't know what they're talking about.
All right, so talk about last night. Again, first thing I want to say about last night is congratulations to the winners, to Kevin and Mr. I think Jason was his name, for really putting together a really, really good bag last night. 10.3, I think is what it was. 10.3 pounds. You know, really good job of town bag. I think that's the biggest bag that's come out so far this year. So congratulations to those guys with a 4.5 pound kicker as well. So if you guys are watching, great job, great effort in a hot summer day. Because, you know, believe it or not, I mean, they kind of blew out a good portion of the field with that bag. I mean, they definitely did. Like, it's not like these tournaments it's taking a little bit of weight to win, but it's not necessarily close all the time. Like, you got the winner, top 2, top 3, sometimes top 4 are kind of close, and then there's usually a pretty good gap. So, you know, these guys are doing a great job. Again, great job to Kevin and Jason. You know, really, really nice.
Yeah, man.
You know, me and Chad, I can't complain. We had another good finish. Just needed one more fish, a little bit bigger, and we would have had a back-to-back win. I'm not going to complain. To go from first place to second place, I think is pretty awesome against some really talented fishermen.
You're definitely dialed in on something.
We're dialed in. I mean, I'm not even going to pretend to be gentle with it. We are definitely dialed in where we're at right now. And I'm excited because I think that the area that we've been setting in, they're going to stay there. I don't think they're going to move anytime soon. And you know, we'll see what happens. I'm not guaranteeing anything because you can't guarantee anything. Like, I'm not saying we're going to go out there and we're just going to keep.
He's really pressing this, man.
I got you, Brian.
So we're not just like, I'm not saying we're gonna keep going out there and we're gonna keep, you know, freaking whacking them and stuff like that. But I'm excited for the potential that it could be.
So you got a pretty good pattern right now.
This is the third week in a row we've gone out to that spot and caught fish and had opportunities to win.
To answer Brian's question real quick, we just talking about Tony whooping all our asses every week.
Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. It ain't that bad.
Nah, dude, we gotta own that shit. Like, Tony's been smacking the shit out of people.
Rob, why are your glasses sideways, bro?
I fell asleep on the couch, drunk with the glasses, and now I got this shit going on. That's a dickhead move. Nah, Tony, seriously, dude, I'm proud, man.
I appreciate
You're
it.
killing it, man.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. You know, I mean,
Uh,
it's funny. I don't know if Chad gets a chance to watch these live. The guy I've been fishing with, very good fisherman, knows his shit very well. But we've been fishing together for a long time, and it seems like this year, especially every time we've gone out, we've gotten better. Just gotten a little bit closer. Now it's clicking, and it's so awesome because it's at a point where the first couple tournaments we fished together this year, we'd go in with a respectable bag, and it's like we knew like we were close. You know what I mean? It's just that knowing like one or two small things just needed to happen for it to happen, and now it's starting to click.
super dialed in. You're getting dialed in even more.
And it's not just on Joppatown. I mean, like we've had our opportunities up Conway, we've had our opportunities on the flats. You know what I mean? So like it's starting to click, and we honestly, like, I don't want to say we knew, but after the last couple tournaments up until the one that we won, I was like, it's a matter of time at this
Right.
point. Because the week before we had a limit, but we didn't have a whole lot of weight. And, it was, we saw the big ones. They just missed us. We didn't really even miss them. They missed us. So we knew it was like, we're doing the right thing. It just, we got to get bites. We got to figure this out a little bit more. And then the next week happened. And then yesterday happened. I can't complain. I mean, I caught more weight last night than I did when I won. And it just took more to win last night. That's
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
But I think if you win a tournament, and especially a weeknight series where there's every Thursday or whatever, and you win that tournament, your goal should be just the next week to catch more weight than you caught the last week, regardless of if you won or not, but kind of especially if you won. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to beat the field, you have to beat the fish.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't been on social media too much lately because I got a lot going on. But you had went out last week and beat them up pretty good on before the Derby too, didn't you?
So I actually went out Wednesday, just because I wanted to look around, try to find some new areas. I found a couple new areas, but nothing that really got me excited. You know what I mean? And that's kind of get into pre-fishing. We can go into this a little bit on a tangent, but like I feel that eliminating water pre-fishing is just as important as finding it.
Oh yeah.
So,
I agree.
Like the deal that I got going on right now, and Paul knows what I'm talking about, and Kevin knows what I'm talking about. Like the deal that I got going on right now, I'm looking to find either the same thing or something that's so different from what I'm looking at to where it might hold fish. And that's really what it is if you have a grass flat that's 1,000 yards long and there's a 50-yard stretch that looks different, it's different for a reason. There's either different depth changes, different grass, different bottom. Maybe you got sand there instead of mud. There's gonna be fish on it or close to it. Something like that is what you really, really want to look for.
I like those transition points too.
Yeah.
And that goes, and that's not just grass, that's everything. If you're fishing a bank, Conowingo is a really good example. You could go down a bank in Conowingo, and if you're just really getting into it, you can look and be like, well, it's 25 feet everywhere you go, and everything's the same. There's rocks, there's wood, there's all this crap. But if you pay attention to your depth finder, you can look at the bottom contour and say, okay, I'm catching them. Sure, it's still 25 feet. There's still rocks. There's still wood. But maybe, for example, this spot, it's a harder bottom.
Right.
And they're relating to that area where it's a hard bottom. And then you go, you don't catch them, and then you find another hard bottom and you catch it. Sometimes it's soft bottom. But you just gotta key
And
in.
you start dialing in on them. I've been dialed in before. I get it.
You
But
just-
yeah,
It's just that hyper focus on what it is that they want to be in. And then that's the easy part. Finding them is the hard part. Catching them, in my opinion, is easy.
So I have always said that when you're dialed in, right? Like for you last night, felt like they're easy to catch. And when you're not dialed in, feels like the hardest thing in the world is catch one.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
Because I feel like you're guessing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's guessing. You know what I mean? And we were talking about this before we went live. Fishing history is so hard not to do. So hard not to do. I'm so
You telling
guilty
me?
of it. I'm so guilty of it on the flats, dude. It's insane.
I'm guilty of it all year
Like-
this year.
And Paul will tell you if you see me out on. You'll probably be able to tell me if you see me out on the flats. I'm in usually one of two places. Skylar, what are they?
Ferguson. Well, I was gonna say I know you. That's by the time you there.
Huh?
Are you asking me like for real?
Yeah, I don't care.
Hey, Scholar's not trying to give up the
No, no, no,
truth.
no,
Scholar's
no,
like,
no,
no.
no, no.
Everybody knows. I'm either in Furnace or I'm on the back track.
Yeah.
That's just where I fish. Like, it's
I like
hard.
those two spots.
Right.
I haven't fished
I
up there
love
much.
I wasn't trying to
Yeah.
stop her, and I wasn't sure if it was
Yeah,
rhetorical or not.
yeah, he was like, "Is this a trick question?"
No, for real. But like, it's so hard to just to not like, if you catch if I've got spots on the bay where I've had in one spot caught over 20 pounds, well over 20 pounds before in practice, never in a tournament, of course, right? But like, it's hard to not go back and look at those spots all the time because
Well,
you
the
know
thing
what
is,
happened there.
With history, though, it's like you're saying, man. You haven't been able to get out lately,
I
so
mean,
that's
I
the only
mean-
thing you can fish, especially if it's a tournament or it's something worth money or something like that. You're
It
gonna
goes-
go back and fish history if you can't get out to three fish
Right.
and figure out spots and eliminate water or
Yeah, like, but like Tony's saying is, so you can catch it. Like what he's doing right now, don't mean this time next year will work.
That's absolutely right.
But he might
It doesn't
keep
mean,
running
it
back
doesn't
there
mean
because
this time next week it's gonna work.
right, exactly.
That is absolutely
Exactly.
correct.
And,
Absolutely correct.
But you call him so good that you're gonna go fishing.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
definitely
right,
going back.
first, right.
Definitely going back.
Yeah.
No, I think the conversation around history, there should be a time limit, right? Like, what is history? I don't feel like is last week. I feel like history is like a last year thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah.
like I feel like if you whack them, like how stupid would it have been if I would have come in yesterday with nothing and I would have told you, yeah, I fished a completely different spot. You would have been like, why the hell did you fish a different spot? Like you were when you just won the tournament. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
So history is, I feel like it's a relative thing. You don't necessarily want to just completely abandon some stuff.
Right, because when I was doing well, I was fishing a lot of the same spots. We've been out fishing before, and then those spots are not good this year. They're just not. Not yet. They'll probably turn on
They will.
later.
They
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same exact thing though, as Kevin points out in the comments right now. It's all about confidence too. Like if you figure out some new juice and you start fishing it, you gain confidence in that spot. Week after week after week, you're gonna go back there and hit that spot because you went back there and you slapped some bass in it. And I'm guilty of doing the same exact thing these past couple tournaments. I've been trying some different juice when I go out and fish, but at the end of the night, I end up on the juice that I have confidence in. And like, I mean, history is obviously defined as freaking yesterday.
Paul,
But
sure.
it completely,
Paul said someone showed Kevin that spot last year.
it is completely, it's all about your confidence. But your confidence spot, what you have to do is you're going to go to your confidence spot,
you get burnt by it
but
sometimes.
you're going to get
Sure.
burnt, and
Sure.
you're going to have to
Yeah.
learn to make adjustments. You can't just be so confident in it that you never leave when nothing is happening.
That's exactly my problem lately, I think.
And like, I mean, I'll just be straight up and I'll say it out loud right now. Like, I've been so confident in the pond ever since I've started fishing back there in
That you
Johnstown.
can't,
Like, dude,
you can't avoid it.
I would continually go there.
Right.
We're
But it's
working.
been-
We're
dude,
working
since
on that.
Summertime
I'm
starts.
trying.
Summertime
To
starts.
keep him out the
coming
pond.
around.
Yes.
I know I know how to fish the pond well, but in the summertime, dude, it's burning me up.
I mean,
It's burning up my time getting there. It's
Oh, yeah.
burning. I am grinding to try to get 3 fish back in the pond right now when I know that we're fishing with almost 15, 20 anglers per week.
Mhm.
Ain't none of them back there in the pond.
Yeah.
Because there's other juice right now.
And
And you need to be confident going to other, you need to expand your horizons when you're going to be doing these things because you need to be able to, you need to be able to say, hey, I've been here for an hour and ain't shit happening. And you
Yeah.
need to be able to be like, okay, well now I'm going to go here.
The,
You need to travel and expand
the
on
pond,
the areas that you have confidence in.
the pond has its moments. I mean, it's not
It
like
has-
you
it's-
can't go
it's-
back there and catch them.
So
But
I'm
if they're
starting
not
to
there
learn.
or the bite's not on, it's
Yeah.
just not.
I've had great days
yeah, that's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
summertime back
Oh,
there.
yeah,
I've had great days. But I'm telling you, in the past 2 years,
it's been burning you.
it's been burning me up.
I feel your pain, man. So were you just like laughing at me, Evan, Chad, and Scuba Steve just running all over the flat in a panic?
No,
I'm just joking.
No, but it does make me feel pretty good.
Like, where are they going now? And just looking at us, just panicking.
See, I can tell you this right now. So, I'm watching everybody move around, and I mean, we knew we had a very competitive shot. Like,
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought we were like, well, we probably got it. You know, and I even told Chad coming in, I'm like, look, if somebody gets it from us tonight, they earned it. And I'm cool with that, and they did. And Kevin and Jason absolutely earned it.
Kevin said he was laughing at us running around. At least Chad wasn't yelling this time.
Right. But to my point,
I was yelling at those kids that cut me and Kevin off.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But-
But our comments get off though.
What's up, Greg?
but to
Sorry,
my point, like a couple times I looked over and I seen Kevin in the same spot. I'm like, okay, interesting. And I know that there's fish over there, obviously, and I'm like, they probably, if we haven't moved, I know I haven't moved. They probably haven't moved for the same reason.
They're catching them too.
Sure.
So part of my frustration from last night, recapping the tournament, was I was 50 to 70 yards from Kevin.
Yeah.
I was on that flat. I was fishing that juice,
Deborah makes a good comment.
but they had keyed in on something totally different than obviously what I was tossing. That's part of my frustration right now. Is I'm like, I should have been in the running. Like I was right there. I'm like, but I didn't make the proper adjustments.
We both came in sad face.
And then I left. Hey, you know
I looked
what?
at Chad,
I
he
can't
looked
say I
at me
came
and
in
we went.
sad face. Look, I came in with 3 fish. I brought back my limit.
Yeah.
We need to. That's one thing me and Steve talked about. We come
That's
back with 2 fish a lot of times. Like I was like, I just want to come back with our limit. You got to start somewhere and make
Yeah.
a goal.
Oh, yeah.
We came back with a limit. I think 1 time so far this year. But the 2 fish has placed us decently each time because they've been decent quality fish. So I've always been like, dude, I got to get that third. The third is going to make a huge difference. Last night it did because they were all pound
That
and
kicker.
halves.
You get that kicker.
No kicker last night.
Yeah.
But
you
That's what it always takes. Always takes.
My brother
Yeah.
called a kicker and then he didn't fill his limit. He would probably been in. He almost took big fish.
See, and that's the thing, and you know that's why last night, like I didn't really get excited until I started looking at the fish in the live well because we didn't really have a kicker. We had all decent fish, and I'm in my head, I'm like, we just need a big one. And I looked in the live well, I'm like, shit, we got about 9 pounds. Like I don't care who's fishing, I don't care how many boats. I will always be happy with 9 pounds and feel good about it coming in on a 3 for a job.
Ain't shit.
Not for 3 hours.
What's our new one? We fixed the boat trailer with beer cans.
But that just goes. That's true. We did.
We
We
have
did
to tell
do
that
that.
story later.
But that just goes to show you is that, especially in these tournaments, which is actually great because that just goes to show you that Joppatown's coming back better. Is that it's not building back better; it's coming back better. But it's
God.
taken in the last 3 or 4 tournaments a 5 pound or almost 5 pounder to win. You know what I mean? Like last week we had a 4 and almost a half. I think 4.3. Last night 4.5. So you got to have that big fish. Like 3 solid ones almost ain't. I mean, it's not like look what happened last night. Like you got to have that kicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what's cool about it because it's, you know what I mean? That kicker, it never, like the bait I threw last night, I only wanted 3 bites. I might not have even wanted 3 bites with it. And I got the bites, they just missed it. And that's what sucks.
Oh god damn it.
Because-
I'm trying to share the video and keep stop talking. My bad.
But,
Sorry.
but that's what sucks a lot too because in 3 hours you need help, right? You got to have like if you get the big one to bite, you got to get them. There's no room to miss it. Like I'm sorry, it just isn't. You know what I mean? That's what's hard.
So that's another part of it too. Like you can be dialed in, but you also got to be on
So
point.
that's kind of how me and Chad fish. Is one of us is whatever we have confidence in for a big bite, stick with it.
All right,
And
I'm sea bass for now on because this is getting
Right.
Did he call you Craig or something? Oh no.
Well, my
sea
buddy-
bass.
So
Sea
how
bass.
about we'll call him Buck because
Is it C?
It's
Bass
sea
or is it
bass.
CEA?
It ain't no sea bass. I don't fish for sea bass.
But it's a funny name,
Bass.
sea bass. I got a
Sea
story for you when we
B
have.
ass.
But that's kind of how we've been fishing together these last few tournaments. Is like because like
Oh damn it!
Wednesday when I went out
Great.
and got.
Kevin and Paul are calling you. What's his name again? Patrick and they're all calling you Craig now.
Someone had brought it up in the comments. It's so hard
Who
not
started
to
that?
not to fish like a confidence spot or like a history spot. For a
Right.
3-hour tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's 3 hours. You have to be
Well, when did you get confidence in it? That's
right. I mean, obviously, so like it goes back to just putting in the time before you go out and fish that tournament. But like, it's a lot easier to move around on an 8-hour tournament, whatever our tournament's on the weekend, than it is on the 3 hour. You know what I mean? And you can miss a fish or two during the 8-hour tournament, but a 3-hour tournament, you have to be dialed in to like make sure you don't make any mistakes to lose a fish.
we missed
That's what I'm
one.
saying.
You
Yeah,
know,
you gotta
like,
be
it's crazy.
you gotta be on your game too.
We missed one last
Yeah.
night at about 8:12. That if it was a bass would have been over.
Martin, dude.
Like, so and that's why I like the 3 first so much, because you gotta like to win them. You really gotta
It's a lot more pressure.
be right. So you gotta be on it, and that's why I like it, and that's why it feels good to place high. And for the guys that won last night, that's what makes it even better.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
It's like the crab shovel with the back blue. We haven't talked about any beer that we're drinking at all.
Yeah, what is
Bass and beer. We
I don't
kind
even know
of
what I'm
fell out
drinking.
doing the whole beer thing.
Labatt's blue tonight.
So I think we talked about this. We talked about this on one of our first shows, but this is Labatt Blue. It's Canadian beer.
It's a good
Very
beer.
good. You should try it.
It is a good beer.
Blue Light.
Good
is
beer,
also
eh?
very good.
Woo!
That chair. I'm glad I don't
I
have that.
gotta,
Because
I gotta drill a self tap
I'll
on the
be
side of it so it doesn't keep falling.
I'll be like, so Guggen bait.
Right.
Do I know Guggen Bates? That's another.
You wanna tell that
topic we
story?
You might write that down too.
No,
At the end of it, we gotta talk about
Guggen
the
Baits?
hookup tackle, giving old Guggen
No,
Bates a little rip.
No, hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. You want to talk about it right now because
talk
I
about it
watched
right
it
now.
this morning.
All right, let's talk about it right now.
And it's very brief, but as you know, Chad's been very upset with Chris Zaldine's leaving Megabass to go
Sure.
to Guggen.
Well, why wouldn't he?
I'm
So,
gonna start crying.
Hookup Tackle has a video out now. They go to iCast. So Guggen Bait owns Bass Mafia. Bass Mafia has had the Chris Zaldine's new swim bait, and it's a mag draft, and they rip it a new one on the video.
Do they?
Yeah, if you want to see something good.
Can we drop the link in the comments?
Yeah, it's a long video. Maybe I could cut a clip out and we can.
Yes.
No. Is this just now?
Yes.
Let's
But-
find the link. Is it up on the hookup tackles?
Yeah, it's Hookup Tackle at iCast. It's you got to watch through a lot of stuff before you get to the part where they get to the Bass Mafia booth. When they do, they straight. I want to say, don't quote me on this. I don't remember 100% correct.
This is
correctly.
The one, this is the one right here, right?
But I said, I think he says, if I can remember correctly, and I'm probably close. I hope nobody buys this piece of shit. Something like that. Or this piece of junk.
Welcome back, my friend.
You got
If-
to, it's probably like way out here somewhere.
Let's see. We're gonna share this thing.
Sorry, I'm getting a work text. I don't ever.
I'm
usually
gonna
use my phone.
copy the link.
That's why he's sharing the link so people can check that out. Drink a lot of that in Michigan. These, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
It's
like
a northern beer.
if you haven't tried Labatt, please try it. It's very good. I enjoy it thoroughly.
First time I ever tried it.
It's good, and it's just the same price as like your Bud Lights or whatever. I think it's got a little bit of more flavor. Did we ever ask Rob? So we were thinking about doing one episode where we all get 4 Locos and drink that on the air.
I'll drink. Go through it.
I don't know about that.
That's
It was-
gonna have to be on one of the nights where I don't have work the next day.
Yeah, that's gonna be on like a night where I don't have to wake up till like
Drink
1
that for
o'clock.
breakfast. No, I'm just kidding.
So that is the link down here in the bottom corner.
It's
I don't
a-
even know. I don't think you can copy it and paste it off of there, but that is the link. Put it in there. The hookuptackle.com goes to iCast.
They
They
call
meet up with
knockout.
Guggen later on in the video.
Oh,
And let's just be honest, nobody's happy with Guggen. There's nothing original, and they pretty much produced, I mean, my favorite bait in the world, a
So
Magdraft freestyle, and called it whatever the hell they called it. I don't even care enough at this point. But
he made a very, very good point on that video. And his point was that let's just say we make a bait. We come up with a bait and we design it for 2-3 years, tune it in, and work on it for like 2 or 3 years and put all our money into it, invest in it and everything. And then we put it out, and then a big bait company just comes, knocks it off, and takes us right out of business after we did all the work.
I would be a little upset about it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
really would. I ain't gonna
Not
lie.
saying that Megabass is not a big company too, but
Well, I mean,
I'm
it's
just
like
saying.
it's like they make subtle changes, and then they're like, "Oh, this is ours."
Well, there's a lot of knockoffs as usual.
I know.
Yeah, and they found their way around the chatterbait. If you watch the whole video, because Ben is great at calling out things, and they found their way around the chatterbait patent as well.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
mean,
with-
Not
for-
Guggen,
But
another
Berkeley
company.
Berkeley, is that who you're referring to?
the Berkeley,
No, I don't
whatever
think it
that
was
thing was.
Berkeley.
They
was
just come
that-
out with one.
Berkeley just came out with a brand new chatterbait.
Did you see a weird bait? Like I don't know if anybody's watching, but there's like a pencil popper with a
The
chatterbait.
Z-Man?
Yeah,
The
Yes.
Z-Man Hellcat.
You think that thing will work? I don't
I'm
know.
probably honestly, I think yeah, I do because it's a topwater bait and it makes noise. I mean, look at a buzz bait.
It's got a
Like
different
when
profile.
you really think about it, how stupid is a buzz bait?
It has a different profile.
Can you imagine like the first guy that ever had one? Like
Right.
he's like, we'll throw this out there and see what happens.
Somebody in Middle River probably designed it. The same guy that
Somebody in Middle River.
right, the same guy that
Scott.
the same guy that designed the Silver Buddy probably designed the freaking buzz bait, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, like I feel like anything that makes commotion on the water, especially the surface has some flash, is going to get bit. It's just going to depend on the day, like any other thing, right? I mean, it's something different.
That's what I was
It's
gonna
something
say.
different.
Something different.
We'll just see.
Something they
Like,
ain't seen.
absolutely.
No.
So I think the next, we kind of hit it on it, but so dog days of summer, and we could kind of loop this one into the next topic. But so dog days of summer, we're in it right now, July, August.
Moving on into August here.
I'm
What do you-
making
What do you guys like? You fish different? I know I fish different.
I'm making a Riverboat Rob shirt that says Frog Days of Summer.
Okay, so that's your answer to the question
Right.
right there.
Exactly.
So I'm the same way. I mean, it's all day. It's
Yeah.
all day. I don't put it down.
Yeah.
Like, and it may not be a frog. It might be a buzz bait. It might be a toad. It might be whatever.
If you're not pitching one of these Bass Munitions drop shot worms in either a freaking shaky head or a Ned rig or on a drop shot midsummer in some of those grass pockets, you're also missing fish. I'm just saying.
I'm
You should definitely have two baits on deck, and it should be a frog and one of these Bass Munitions lures. Period.
Well, Skylar was on the back of the boat when we put that to the test on Conowingo not too long ago. And it worked. Paul has a really good
Paul, good
comment.
point, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
punching grass mats. I actually did that in a club tournament a couple years ago, up on Highway Grace. Wasn't really catching them. Frog bite turned off, and I was digging through my box and just on a whim decided, well, here I got one singular ounce weight, and I tied it on and punched grass and started catching them.
Right.
Saved my tournament. Saved me from going in with one. I think I went in with 3 or 4 fish, and that was cool. I've never actually done that before. Because when you think of punching with big 1-2 ounce weights, you think of Florida, right? They're punching hyacinth mats.
Highest match.
They're freaking going over top of reeds and crap like that. Stuff we can't do here. But like, you can do that on the flats. You can do that in the spots where I'm fishing these 30
In the holes. In the holes.
No, not in.
Oh, you mean the thick grass?
in the mat?
Punch right through it.
Punch right through it. Yep.
Big 1 ounce weight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because think about it, right? Like if you're throwing a frog, most of the time when guys throw top where they're targeting the pockets in the grass, right?
Yes.
But if you're punching, you're targeting fish that are maybe not inactive, but they're not seeing a bait. They're kind of just sitting there. Maybe they're just waiting to ambush, maybe not. But a lot of times it's just getting a fish to react anyway.
I had a bass jump over my frog yesterday. he completely out the air, went right over, like he was trying to get out the way of it.
So I told you guys before the show, but the lure I'm throwing out there, every bite the fish is coming out of the water. Every single bite.
That's killing
Every
and
single
swallow, and it's down, and you
When
know
they
you're
get
throwing
it-
the right bait when they
get it,
Yeah.
it's in there. When they don't get it, it's not close. Like I haven't had a single one that I hook up with and it gets off. It's either they got it or they don't, and there ain't no in between. You know what I mean? So like, and it's
Yeah.
cool because like there were some last night that I seen jump. I didn't set the hook because they weren't going to help.
I had some of it.
Like
I had the more that they didn't get it, and there was no in between. They just didn't get it.
I missed a ton of frog blowups.
Yeah, me too. Did you miss a lot of blow ups?
They missed us. We didn't miss
Well,
them.
that's what I mean. But they blew up on.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
yeah,
You said, like,
yeah. I had a
actually-
lot.
I
of
probably,
I mean, dude, I followed up. I set the hook, rod bent over, and then just pulled it right out of its mouth.
I never
every
felt the
time.
fish.
It's like,
yeah, I didn't.
I felt
Yeah.
the fish. I knew it was there. I freaking caught up to it, set
I think-
the hook, and just pulled it right out. The frog I'm using, I really like it. I really like its action. It pops well. It walks well. It is a larger profile. Dude, the hookup ratio has just been garbage on this thing recently.
So I learned a new
Downside,
trick,
so.
by the way.
But I mean, that being said, it's a mega bass frog that I've been throwing,
Mhm.
but it's not one of these freaking tailored frogs.
I gotta get my
That's the
hand.
problem.
The freaking tailored frog hookup ratio is insane.
So I learned something the other day. I don't know if you ever heard this before. You know how you bend your hooks up on the frog, get better hookup
Yeah.
ratio. I heard bend them out. Bend
Really?
them out, and the frog doesn't have to.
I can see that.
compress
When
as
it's
much.
wider, you
Makes
don't have
sense.
such a
Yeah.
short, like a narrow.
Yeah, so maybe try that. 'Cause I
So I
actually
won't.
going to try it as well.
I won't say what frog my partner was throwing last night, just because I don't want, he's not
Yeah.
here to whatever. But he pulled it out the box, and I'm like, He looked at me he's like, "What are you talking about? I love this thing." I'm like, "Bend his hooks out." It's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I hate him."
I know what frog you're talking about, then.
Right. So he's like, "Okay, whatever," and he bends the hook out, and guess what? Landed every fish that bit. He's
Yeah.
like, "Dude, thanks." I'm telling you.
Yeah, bend them out. You know, that's a good tip for people that don't know. Bend them out.
Would you say just out, or would you say like up and out?
No, that just out.
Just up.
Gotcha.
I bet mine up some.
Yeah, I mean bending them up ain't gonna hurt either. But we're actually.
I just actually pull it off
We're doing
the
frogs
soft
Tuesday.
dog
aren't we?
itself. Tuesday is
Frogs.
our frog talk,
And
so
we'll
I
get-
haven't actually posted that yet.
We'll
more
get
frog-
Paul-
no more frog talk. So
we'll-
it's a Tuesday.
We'll
But,
get we'll get Paul's
yeah, man.
or input on it and all that on Tuesday.
Our second episode of Tackle Tuesday will consist of breaking down frogs, and once again, we're really lucky and blessed that we have another really cool sponsor from Taylor Lures that sends us some of the dopest frogs, bite size, colorful. I got this one that I always have on my little display thing here because this is just oh my gosh, it's just a beautifully made frog. And I don't know, man. I show it to people all the time, and they fish great, they walk great, they pop great. For a small profile, you can cast them okay. And these are some of the beefiest frog hooks I've ever personally.
You need one?
I mean, dude, these things don't flex at all. Feel that? Those hooks don't move.
Yeah, I can't bend them out. I need my pliers.
Some beefy hooks.
They're beefy
No,
hooks.
they really are.
We need Sam Elliott to like narrate a commercial for us about how beefy the hooks are.
Oh, dude, Morgan Freeman,
Well, you know Tony's nickname, Rusty Hooks.
the old rusty hook.
Old Rusty Hooks.
Can't rust these saltwater hooks, baby.
We have a new slogan. Tony wasn't here. We got to add to the 15 pounds ain't shit. Is don't set the hook like a bitch. Is our new one, and I never seen a paddle boat get up on plane like that before. It's a whole other story. We gotta get that dude on and tell that story because that was hilarious, dude. And we did fix a boat trailer with beer cans last night. all
That
of
is
us.
true. We did.
We very much fixed the boat trailer with. Hey, we needed something to fix it with, and we had beer cans. You weren't there. You did the whole thing.
That's awesome. Though.
It was.
And here's the interesting thing.
It was. I mean, it was a good time.
It was fun,
It was
actually.
a good time. Just
Yeah.
trying to figure out something a little bit different.
Right.
We,
Brian Dyson was with us. matter of fact, yeah.
Brian Dyson was with us last night.
Yeah.
Hey man, we got the boat on there. Oh, those grasses are broke even more now.
Yeah, I just give up.
It was a-
It's like fishing. I just give up. But you want to tell a story, or I mean, we leave it at that. We fixed it.
How about we don't bring up the name? Just
No, of course not.
whatever.
Yeah,
But,
of course
not.
So, somebody's boat trailer was not cooperative, and we'll leave it at that. So, one of the bunks had come off or broke off, rusted off, or whatever. So, what we did was, in order to shiv the bunk up to where the elevation needed to be,
We had absolutely nothing. We didn't
Except
have. We didn't
empty
have.
beer
We didn't
cans.
have wood. We didn't have like.
Oh.
There was nothing around. All I can say is
Who said? I think it was Tony.
Bud
said,
Light for the whim.
I think it was Tony that said we're figuring out like how we gonna help him get his boat on a trailer, and I believe it was Tony that said maybe we can wedge some beer cans under that bunk.
The bunks were all jacked up, so
Did
the
it
boat,
work?
It did work.
the boat was leaning up against the left trailer
Right.
tire
Oh
guard,
yeah, you're right. You're right. It
actually
wasn't like-
rubbing up against it. So we actually took some empty beer cans and we crushed them and we
idea.
shoved them
It
underneath
was.
Modern day
of the
MacGyver.
boat bunk
He
to
was
get
all
the
on
angle
point
back up
yesterday.
again. And then he ran the boat up on there and wedged the beer cans up against the frame.
Well, Tony did have to get in the water with a dead
We
car.
were both in the water.
Oh yeah, you
I
got
was
that
in there
too.
too.
Yeah.
We were in the freaking water up waist deep with this freaking boat trying to hold it over to the side when it came up on the trailer. And we finally got it to stay where it needed to stay, but like it was just an inexperience.
And shout out to everyone who's been leaving the damn dead carpet the ramp because I'm pretty sure there was one in my pocket.
so you can
For the
you can
record-
thank all the boat fishermen for that.
just for the record, me and Brian Dyson were on the dock.
Supervisor.
We're not
Oh,
mentioning
empty
names.
the beer
Paul.
cans. Somebody had to empty the beer cans.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know who has beer at the Thursday night tournaments, but it sure ain't me.
I'll tell you what.
Whoever it is, help
I
somebody
seen. I'm not gonna mention names, but I seen somebody yesterday and they had a beer, and I was like, "Let me get a beer," and he was like, "Man, I only brought these because everybody's always got beers, and I can't get one."
Just you gotta join the Bass and Beer Radio Club, bro.
You gotta hit up Chad's beer boat.
Can we please make stickers and say that?
I charge higher than bar
You should
prices.
start bringing,
so,
like,
this is hard to do.
Start bringing like Cheetos
Expect
and stuff
tips,
too.
too.
Then you could be rich.
Cheetos.
You know what I'm saying?
Flaming hot or not?
It's gotta be flaming,
Flaming hot,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So is-
I want to. So while we're on the topic, big
Flaming
worms.
hot Cheeto.
Big. Yeah, that's. We're kind of talking about dog days. So big worms. Rob's got worms. Everybody knows this.
Rob works, all right?
Tequila's been killing them though.
Right. I don't throw these enough, and I know I should, and I know I want to start. However, and this, so a really good friend of mine who I fished with in college, I actually fished against him, went to Radford, and really, really good fisherman, and he was saying that so they have Thursday nighters out of Smith Mountain Lake, which is actually a really, really good bass fishing lake, pretty popular, Highland Reservoir, got a lot of big fish in it. They are killing. They're catching. I think they had 11 pounds with their 3 last night. They got 4th. So it takes some weight to win with free fish, usually around 14, 15 pounds.
Oh wow.
Which every week, which is pretty awesome, right? But he's saying a big worm is a huge thing, and I know that that's kind of an older technique a little bit, but maybe a lot of guys do it and just kind of talk about it. So if hopefully I'm not spilling anybody's secrets here, but I really think that we as like a group of fishermen need to kind of give this topic a little bit of time and see what happens.
Do you
with
think
it.
that's like body water specific?
I don't.
Like,
I think a bass is a bass is a bass, dude.
yeah, but I also think that you're not going to go out to where how you've been doing on Thursday.
This
night.
isn't
Just start
Texas.
tossing-
It's
just
not
start tossing
Florida.
around
This
a big
isn't the
worm.
California
You're gonna stick to what you're
Delta.
doing. I mean, I understand you want to try it, maybe
So,
fish with it. Try
Why
it
would
out
you
with
throw
it,
a
but-
12-inch worm but not an 8-inch
They're
worm?
saying it's a brush pile thing. By the way, on the comments, they're saying it is a dog day of summer technique that if you look at any old Bassmaster, dog days of summer techniques, throwing a bigger worm is always what a lot of pros say. But
It's slower, you dragging it, whatever.
what you guys are saying, not really, or what they're saying is not really for what we fish.
It's not a technique I've ever even touched on. If it's not a freaking 5-inch Senko,
I only got worms. I got speed worms and floating
I got
worms.
some Robo
I don't
worms.
throw robo worms. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't throw. I don't. We're talking like 10-inch worms or like
Yes.
yeah.
So
No,
like
I
the
never
Zoom
saw.
old monster.
Mhm.
And Skylar had a good point. He's like, is it body water specific? I say no.
I get a bass as a bass.
The
I get
reason-
like
The reason I say no is we caught fish in Florida on the same crap we catch fish up here on.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything.
Devil horse.
Well, we were late for that.
Mhm.
We were
But you
too late
can't
for
say that we're going to go up to the St. Lawrence River next year and throw the same exact shit as down here and catch them. We're going to be fishing
That's top bar catch 'em.
completely different types of water.
you might be able to catch them on the same stuff.
Can we use
Consistently
a
can
different
you?
body of water for that example?
Because
St.
small
Lawrence-
mouth, large mouth.
Yeah. Could we,
I just brought it up because that's where we're going next year.
I would throw big. Okay, I don't even want to talk about.
Let's go with
This
Lake
place.
Fork then.
How about Oneida
Okay.
or Champlain or
Or largemouth lake though, like what's the
Oneida's got big large now. It's got a
Lake
lot-
Seminole or something like
I
that.
think it's a cover thing. I don't think it's a lake thing. I think it's a cover thing. Like if you look at the guys like Wired to Fish, there's a whole bunch of videos of these guys up in Minnesota. They only get real summer for like 2 months a year, right? They fish in the summer the same way we fish. Like they do the same crap. I've caught fish in New York, the same frogs I catch fish here in July. You know what I mean? Like I really think it's a cover thing. I don't think it's a body of work.
I mean, you can say the same thing. Fish is a fish. Cover is a cover.
I think if you go out and you commit, if you put a big worm on, you go out and you commit to it, you'll catch it.
I think I can catch a fish on a big worm in the summer anywhere I go.
Yeah,
And I'm not even that good with it. I think if we're talking one fish, I think I can catch one fish in the summer on any body of water on a big worm.
Oh, all right, Kevin, let's go, man.
Like
Me and Kevin,
Chicago.
me and Kevin's planning the trip.
Paul says, big worm tackle talk. I'm all about it because I want to get. That's something I really legitimately want to get better at. Because I've caught a lot of big fish on the Carolina rig, but
Right.
I don't throw big worms on the Carolina rig. You know what I mean? And the
Right.
guys who I know who throw the big worm don't really do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but they don't really do it on the Carolina rig either. So I really want to get better with the big worm because I feel like it's an underutilized tack, kind of like a tube nowadays. Like a tube, nobody really does it. Like last year, I killed them in the spring con on a tube.
I don't know nothing about that.
So
I'll say, but like you just said,
No,
like a
they're
big lizard.
the lizard, right?
Right. So I mean, like, is it the same thing? Like, can you catch fish? Is
So,
it easier
Tony-
to catch a fish on like a big worm or a big lizard? Is that like the same comparison? Is one better?
No, what I
because
was
it's a stick
saying
bait?
is, when you Carolina rig, we usually throw, because I'm sure you're not like doing it all the time. We're not giving up too much juice, but I'm guessing I'm guessing you throw a lizard, Zoom lizard.
Do I?
Yeah, yeah.
I usually don't.
Oh.
I get in freaking work.
You
text
haven't
right now, I'm
watched
sorry.
the working fisherman, June bug lizard.
He actually just like the
Oh, he's still
podcast.
around.
Yeah, Mark. That's Mr. Mark Hooks.
I like to meet him.
I would
I didn't know
too.
he still
Actually,
fished.
I would,
Yeah.
you know what? I got a notification that he liked the page, and so before I used to watch Shallow Water Shogun, I used to watch Working Fisherman.
That's right. I was second at least. I'll
I'm-
take second.
I'm serious, dude.
Yeah,
Like
I
one of the
appreciate it.
One of the coolest videos. I remember I was like freaking 12 years old. And he posted this video of him catching a 6.5 pounder at
Foster
Foster Branch. Guess where I went fishing the next day?
Foster Branch.
Guess how many fish I caught? Nothing.
So-
You know why? Because it was March and I'm throwing a frog. I'm like an idiot.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I went to got some June. I got some June bug. I got some June bug Zoom lizards after watching that video.
Oh,
right
I-
out and got some.
That's the first thing I ever fished on the Upper Bay. First time I ever fished on the Upper Bay was a club tournament, and I did nothing but
What's
flip
that
a
about?
lizard 4 or 5 years ago. When I went
I
up
thought
there.
it was a little farther back.
Oh,
than that.
his video?
Yeah, 10 years.
2013, I think.
Yeah,
It was before the fish kill. It might have been 15, but it was before the fish kill.
yeah. He catches like a 6.5 pounder in Foster Branch on lizard. He gives up the bait, shows everybody the bait and all that. Though he's got another video where he talks trash. It's fucking hilarious because he's like, it's not. He doesn't look like he would be a trash talker. I don't say not bad, but I like his videos.
Mhm.
But he was like, "Oh, you think I can only catch small fish? Think about this." And he like calls out somebody's name. I don't know who the guy is. But he's like, "What is this? Just small fish?" I catches like a 5 pounder on Bush River or something like that. But
Oh, yeah.
he's an old YouTube. He was around before me, like way before I started doing YouTube. So he's been around a minute.
Can we tag him in the comments?
Who's that?
His name is Mark Hux.
Yeah, maybe he'll get on, dude. That would be cool. We could.
I would love to have him on the show.
Yeah, me too. That
I
would be
really
awesome.
would because
Anybody know him in the comments? Anybody know him?
That's big.
Greg was one of those guys I know.
yeah, working
Uh,
working fisherman because yeah, I did that. He was absolutely like one of the first people I ever started watching.
I think he's like one of the original Maryland fishing YouTube channels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is one of these him?
No, do a search on the on just regular Facebook real quick. Because I know he likes the page.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I
That's
seen the
really
name
awesome.
pop up and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool as hell. Like,
Yeah, that is cool. It's real cool. I think his son was doing some of the editing or something for him
Who
or
is this?
sometime. He's called the Working Fisherman, and he was on
there you go.
YouTube before
Yep,
YouTube.
there he is right there.
Before YouTube was very popular. Well, before like there's other realms of YouTube that caught on way before the fishing.
The fishing part of it.
He was one of the first like bass fishermen to do a YouTube channel here and there. And it's a pretty good channel. Then we got the
It
other
is.
guy. There's a very popular one, way more popular than my channel
Does he
is.
still do
Is it one rod, one reel?
Well, that's Guggen, but yes, he's technically Maryland. But no, I want to say his name's Connell or what's his
Like
name?
no?
Nah, there's a guy he fishes
What's his handle?
YouTube fisherman or something like that, something weird like that. He's very, very popular. But he's huge too. And then there's I don't know if I should put this because Paul beat me up, but don't beat me up, Paul. But then there's smallmouth crush as well.
Yeah, it's
So
I
if you
think
want
that's
to watch
awesome.
Travis smallmouth crushes, and then there's Epic Eric, or pretty much the big YouTubers that we have.
Epic Eric's pretty good big YouTuber. He's got a pretty cool page.
He's the dopest one out of all.
Smallmouth Crush.
Yeah. Travis is kind
Tag
of cool.
Huh?
I got him tagged on my.
Okay. That
same.
works then.
So hopefully it gets on. Mr. Mark, if you get on, we were actually just talking about how awesome your old fishing channel is, the Working Fisherman. So hopefully he's able to hop on and talk to us because I actually I have learned so much about like that was literally I don't know about YouTube, but like me and Robert totally on the same page. Like, that was the first like bass fishing thing that I've ever came across. And his videos go back a long time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, no, he was, and it was the June bug lizard, and then it was always had that 20-foot
Crap,
trap.
man, I'm sorry.
But he
He's
had
looking up videos.
he had videos of
YouTube fishing
like
videos.
Conowingo. He had all Joppatown. He actually a few at Dundee
Mhm.
back in the day.
Bush
when it
River.
was still juiced. Bush River.
Mhm.
He's got a video of him catching like 19 pounds out of the bush.
That's the one where he talks trash, right?
No,
that's the
that
video.
one was out of Furnace.
Yeah.
That's how I learned about Furnace Bay.
Yeah.
That's how I learned about Furnace Bay when I was watching his videos.
I only hope that my videos do the same thing for some people, kids that are coming up. Like, I
Oh,
hope
it's,
so.
it's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's cool as hell.
I
to see.
could get comments like, "Oh, I've seen you at Wendy's" and stuff like from kids, which really that's like,
That's cool.
yeah,
That's cool as shit.
yeah, just like
Absolutely.
wow, you know what I mean? Like
That's how I got in touch with you the first time. Was we was in the pond. I'm
That's
like,
how I
oh,
met
that's
Tony.
Riverboat Rob. Cool
Yeah.
as hell, right?
Yeah,
And then I caught one right in front of him. I was like, eh.
I was like, "You're throwing a crankbait, ain't you?" No, but he's serious. Tony was like, "Hey, man, I watch your videos, dude, and this, that," and we started talking, and that's how I met a lot of people that way, and then other people through other people. Greg Hall, I met Greg Hall the same way. He saw me at the boat ramp one day and came up and was like, "Hey, you the guy? Be showing everybody my fucking spots, I'll kill you." I was like, "Come on, man." But no, seriously, I don't know.
But yeah, no, like it's cool because you know maybe who knows, but maybe one day when we're a couple of years into this, somebody will think of you or us as, oh man, remember when those guys we used to watch those guys and they used to talk about all this stuff, and that's kind of why we do it because that's where we came from. Like I came up watching your videos, I came up watching Mark's videos of Working Fishermen and learning this kind of stuff. And now we're kind of doing the same thing. It's cool. Hopefully, you guys that watch, even some of you that are more experienced than us, are able to be like, "Wow, I never thought of that."
Mhm.
That these knuckleheads are talking about. I'm gonna go try it. Maybe it catches fish.
So
Like I've definitely taken things that we've talked about and from the comments and gone out and done it and caught fish.
Mhm.
Like that's cool as hell. You know what I mean?
that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And while we're on the
And
topic,
beer. It's about beer,
we're
too.
all doing that. It's definitely has a
Beer,
lot
too.
to do with beer. We're all doing this because we love fishing. I mean, that's why I'm sitting here right now. That's why I've invested the amount of money I have into doing this is because I love doing this. Just having fun doing this. But I also want to talk about the bass while we're here because that's another important topic. It's midsummer. It's the dog days of summer, and we all know that taking those bass out of the water and sticking them in the live well is hard on our fish.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're here because we love bass fishing and we love to catch bass. So, what's some important What are some important ways for us to take care of the bass that we catch? Make sure that they come out of the live well healthy and they swim away healthy. I think that's a very important topic for us to cover, as obviously Joppatown is a recovering fishery from the fish kill.
Definitely.
Number one, we're out there fishing tournaments. We're bringing fish back to the ramp.
Moving them around.
And
putting them
I
on
think
stress.
that it's our.
Well, there was a couple
I-
suspect fish last night. Not Charles, but
I mean, you know what, dude? It happens to everybody.
Yeah,
But that's why I want to talk about fish care. That's why I want to talk about taking care of your fish when you put them in the live well, making sure that they swim away to see another day and to be caught again when they get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so I think
So-
we're fishing a place that's relatively like within the bridge, pretty small.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pressured pretty heavily every week. I think, that's a good point as far as trying to keep those fish good. Because I mean, I think you probably catch a lot of the same fish
So-
every week.
So,
I don't think so. I don't think
So at
so.
all.
well,
I don't think they move back out there. And not to hijack the
No,
conversation,
you're
but I
not.
think
no,
we're
you're
gonna
good.
talk
You're
about it,
good.
but I don't think they move out there in a week.
So personally,
No.
we caught a couple little dinks yesterday. That's all we caught, right? And we caught them in the same.
I
Basically,
knew he was going to say that asshole. Thanks, Dustin. It was either you or Martin. I knew someone was going to
I
say
said
it.
something before the.
Martin gave me a-
God.
Martin gave-
Dustin really went there right now.
I knew he was
It's
going
the
to
time
say
of the
it.
night. It's a bag one.
I knew he was going to
But I
say
mean,
it.
I
that's why
agree
I'm
with
saying
Greg,
it
by the
happens
way.
to
Greg
everybody.
is-
Like nobody intentionally mistreats bass or anything, in my opinion.
Greg's
But there's definitely more professional
definitely
ways
move
to
back
take
out.
care of it.
So, Paul, do they move back out there in a week? Do you think? Do they get on the same waypoint in a week, or do they get into the grass and like, okay, I'm back in the grass?
They're gonna go out to like.
hey guys, I'm back.
I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I can't. Say
I think
they're
they
not gonna
move
go
back
to the
in a
marina
week.
either. Why wouldn't they go back to the marina?
Yes.
I'm not saying they go back to the same exact spot. I'm just saying that I mean, it's a pretty small fishery. I guarantee
And
you.
in
with the
my
amount of fish that are out there
Martin
fishing
said
every week,
ranger danger.
why would you not think that you're catching the same
Good,
fish?
guys.
We totally got off topic. Real quick before I forget, I agree with Greg. Run your circulation, oxygen in the
Yeah.
water, and keep the water cool. As I think Kevin said, some ice, cool water, and more oxygen. So, as you know, I fish from an aluminum boat, and Evan does as well. And those tracker boats, they don't have. You can fill your live well up, and you can empty it out. That's it. And we upgraded. So last year we had trouble keeping fish alive for 3 hours, and we.
Dude, it's hard
upgraded
to
it.
do when you're in these trackers and these small jump boats. Like my jump boat has nothing but a plug in the
I'm
bottom
gonna
of the
send you the
live
video
well.
for the upgrade that me and Evan both did. On
I
our
have
boats.
aerators and all that. I have portable aerators that I put down in mine, and I do what has been popularly said on the comments so far: freezing some water bottles. I use Gatorade bottles.
Keep the water cool.
Freeze some Gatorade bottles. Throw a Gatorade bottle in there. Keep that water cool. Run your aerator all day long.
Yeah.
And as previously stated above, circulate that water and aerate that water before you put fish in it. Make sure that water is oxygenated well
With this,
before you actually put the fish
So
in.
Paul's comment, and I'm going
Yeah,
to break this
yeah.
down for just, and I'm not saying Paul, I'm not disagreeing with you because I think bait's super, super important, obviously. Now, by Paul's logic, and Paul, please respond here. If the fish go to where the bait is, every fish would be in the pond. There's so much bait in the pond in the summer, it's just like too much.
But you're telling me that they're
This
not
is
gonna
going to
hit-
turn
hang on,
into a
hang
debate.
on. But you're
There
telling
we go,
me
Tony.
that
There we go.
They're not
But
going to hit this. They're not going to hit a spot that might be similar to the pond before they get there, or that holds more bait. They might. They're going to go from point to point trying to find the bait. If they find a spot that has
Correct.
a lot of bait, they're probably just going to stay there. That's how it works.
Maybe the bait in the pond is like McDonald's.
There's
and
too
the grass
much.
is like.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is right now. There's
That's cheap, easy bait
Come on,
over there.
come
there is too much bait in the pond.
So what
You're
all the
trying
fish
to
be in
catch
there?
suspended fish, and you're trying to make your lure stand out above millions of other fish, and that is one of the most difficult things to do, in my opinion.
So, but
Why not move out to where you know that those fish are sitting in 3 feet on a grass flat? They're picking off baits and grass. They're moving up into fresh water. There's more current and stuff like that. That's the way I've been looking at it this summer.
I mean,
It's been too hard to target suspended fish that are already locked onto bait balls of 1 billion fish, and then think that my crankbait or my chatterbait is going to just randomly pull one
so
when there's a bunch of live bait down there.
Right.
It's it can be done I haven't figured that out yet.
So
You mean in the pond?
In the pond,
The giant bait ball.
In the
let's get
For
into
sure.
this for just a second, and then we'll go back to the fish care because we didn't finish talking about that. But so all the comments are coming in about where the bait is. I think that there's that grass flat that everyone knows what I'm talking about. The grass is massive. There's a grass flat that's I don't even know, probably in all honesty 2-3 miles long. Right? It's wide. It doesn't. I think that there's bait all throughout that grass.
Absolutely.
All
That's why
throughout
they're
it.
not
Dude,
just
I've
there
seen-
for the
I saw-
Are there fish all throughout it? Absolutely. But where are they the easiest to catch?
where are they more concentrated?
I don't even think it's concentration, to be honest with you. Maybe it is, but my train of thought is you think they're in a certain spot because whatever the concentration of the grass is makes it easier to fish.
Well,
If there's holes in the grass, I can throw buzz bait. If it's matted, not really throwing it.
not only that,
Like-
but not to cut you off, Tony. Sorry, but
No, you're good.
it's kind of easier for them to hide and ambush the bait in the grass than it is in the
Absolutely.
pond right now. There's
Sure.
not a whole lot of
You have
cover.
sun cover in the grass. The
Yes.
grass filters the silt and everything that comes down the river.
Yeah, and it's more oxygen. Grass is oxygen. Yeah, so
Exactly.
that's probably why the grass is just. I mean, there's bait in the pond. We
Like,
all
on
know
top of
that.
the grass even.
Oh, don't get me
But I
wrong.
think the grass might be more attractive because of all the
Right.
shade, the oxygen.
Now, don't get me
And-
wrong. I'm not disagreeing with
Kurt.
with what Paul and
Kurt.
Greg are saying. Like,
Yeah.
I've been fishing the grass for the last 3
yeah,
weeks.
you ain't got nothing against the grass.
Right,
We know
so I
that.
got
Yeah.
Andrew Sams just brought up a very, very valid and very big one. Current is king.
Yes. Yes.
That's oxygenated water. Current also is going to hold a different temperature than a water that sits still. You're going to have degrees that are cooler. You're going to have more oxygenated water. Find current in specific areas that have grass in it should have more filtered water.
That's also
Current can
bringing
be
fish
And
tricky.
in.
dial that in.
That's also bringing fish in good ambush spots.
Or it's bringing
in
in
the
bait.
current,
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my style of
Absolutely.
fishing, as everybody knows.
So the thicker the grass, the less current because there's more.
But so too much current can be bad sometimes too.
Yeah,
It's
we don't have to
ripping,
worry
it's
about
hard.
that here.
Yeah, but current
Largemouth
current-
don't. I mean,
If there's current, there's
dude,
bad.
run up-
I'm
like
not
so,
saying
like
that.
run up the Susquehanna River below the dam.
Mhm.
Smallmouth love current.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to catch many largemouth up the river. You can go down past Lapidum and catch largemouth.
Mhm.
You're very rarely going to catch largemouth up
Well,
above Lapidum.
not saying that current isn't a key.
Largemouth are
Very
lazy.
good
Is the
to fish
point that I'm
current.
trying to make.
Right, I get what you're saying. And smallmouth love it.
But there's a lot more key factors to current than just what the largemouth like.
I've seen
it
it
moves.
too.
It moves bait.
I've seen too much current times. Is all.
It moves bait. Current is like tide that is consistently moving.
So what
To
I
me, in
what I
my
was going to
opinion.
say about
True, Paul.
about the grass and the title of the video, not all grass is created equal. And the reason why I say that is I think as a fisherman, like you have to, when I look at grass, and I'm not nearly the best grass fisherman out there, but I'm pretty decent at it, I would say. I think I know a little bit about it, not a ton, but enough to talk about it, right? When I look at grass, I want grass that's patchy. Why? I can get a bait through it. There's like easily analyzed ambush points that me as a novice fisherman can look at and be like, wow, like, look at that. There's a hole in the grass. That means there's a 360-degree window surrounding that bait where there could be a bass in cover.
Mhm.
Think of it like that, right? If you have a completely open area, you put a bait right in the middle of it, a bass can literally come from any
Any
direction.
direction in that. Yeah.
Whereas if you're working a grass line,
Little
they're
dog,
coming
man.
from one direction. That's
Yeah,
why I
that's it.
like getting in the grass. Like you'll rarely, no matter what, see me fishing the outside edge of grass.
But not saying that it's a bad spot to fish though either. The
What?
grass line.
Oh, Chad was like, yeah, everybody's giving up too much juice. And, he's telling about shut
It doesn't
up
even
and
matter,
let
bro.
it-
Everybody that's watching right
But this
now
is the
probably
point.
there last
This
night,
is the
like,
point. Try to help catch fish.
That's
And
the
I'm
whole
not
point of what we're
saying
doing.
I don't want to talk about current.
So I mean, so we looped back into a different conversation, but I did start on fish care, and we
Yeah, I
all
understand
definitely
that.
to loop back into fish care just to take care of that topic. We swapped over because we had so many inflowing comments of different things about current and stuff like that. Fish care is super, super important. Ice, so fill your live well and start your aerator
Mhm.
ahead of time. I think I heard you talk about some type of live well juice that you might add to it.
I can send you the link. There's a video. Anthony Jones I want to say his name is. He's part of Tiny Boat Nation, but he has a great video on doing for 10 boat guys like me and you.
Yeah.
He has a great live well upgrade video. I'll put the link up or something. I'll get it to you or something. We'll figure it out. But I think his name is Anthony Jones, and it's live well upgrade, maybe the name of the video. It's very innovative, and I have done it on my boat.
Deborah called it out, the G juice.
And G juice, yeah.
Yep. Started using it.
And we did it on Evan's boat, and now I had a fish last night. Banging on the lid, trying to jump out. He was so alive.
I've had no issues. I've had no.
Martin, of course,
I've had no issues with my fish so far, but I definitely make sure I'm checking on them all the time. I will say, like, I'm one of those guys where honestly, like, I can have good fish, but I'm telling you, if that fish is struggling to survive in my life, well, I'm throwing it back in.
Yeah.
Before I come back for the weigh-in.
Real quick, Greg, I think Martin's additives probably will.
Yeah, Martin's additives probably will kill some fish. So, like I said, before we got into this, thank you, Dustin and Martin, for reassuring me of my ability to keep fish alive.
You suck, dude.
Bleeding fish too. We'll talk about it in a second when you're done though.
So, this is a super important thing. So, like, when I went and bought G-Juice. Now I haven't had to use it in the Joppatown 3-hour 3-fish tournaments. I put my live well on auto. I pump fresh water in all day long because the water where I'm sitting is right where I caught them. You know what I mean? I start my boat twice in these tournaments. Once to get to the spot and once to get back from the spot.
Are you doing the water bottle idea though? Freezing the water bottles out into your live well?
No, and the reason for
That's
that
key for you, I think,
Well,
because your aerator in your live well works fine.
so the Anthony Jones upgrade I was talking about real quick, they run the hose that pumps the water in for it. They run it into a separate compartment, wrap it around like this, and then into your live well and fill that compartment with ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a good
Okay,
video.
so
I'm
that's
sending
pretty
you.
wild. Okay,
Right,
that's
man.
pretty cool.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but
You're
while I
gonna be
was thinking
straight
about
up freezing the fish though. Like if you do two,
You're
So
pumping
you can
cold
shock
water
them.
in.
You can shock them.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can shock them.
So here's,
Yeah, true.
I think where we fish, tidal, especially in Joppatown, low tide, which the last 3 tournaments have been.
Yeah,
You really
exactly.
don't have
That's
to
what we
worry.
just said, Greg. You can shock them with ice to come. You can't just add a whole bunch of ice.
I don't think
So,
you have
there's
to. I don't
definitely-
really think you have to worry about it if you're pumping fresh water in. If you're fishing 2
Yeah.
feet of water,
Yeah.
the water on the surface is the same temperature as the water on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're fishing Conowingo or somewhere where you're catching 30, 40 feet down, 30, 40 feet down, it might be
Well,
5, 10
then
degrees
you get
cooler.
into fizzing. I'm not familiar. You know about fizzing?
Oh, I know about fizzing. I've never done it, but I know it's a thing.
Yeah. If you pull, especially some of the fishing that you do, if you pull a smallmouth or a fish up from really deep water,
Right.
it can put them. They're most likely not going to make it,
Right.
Unless you fizz them, because there's
So-
oxygen in their stomach. You have to poke them and
They
get the
don't-
air out.
They don't talk about it, but there was a lot of dead fish laid in the leachers on the St. Lawrence River.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
A
Because they're
lot.
pulling up from deeper, cooler
Yes.
water.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
A
And
lot
it's
of
not
them
good for the
Stickling,
fish
yeah,
at all.
I mean, the shocking the fish.
So I think like this time of year, fish care is super, super important. The other thing is you got to think about too, and I've seen guys do it, is they'll take a white towel, keep it in the boat, wet it, and put it over the top of the live well. Because you got to remember that live well is getting beat up by the
That's
sun.
true, yeah.
It's about keeping the water temperature in the live well the same. Because when you really think about it, your
Carpet's dark.
carpet's dark,
More
like
white, yeah.
it's just gonna get. That's why I pump this and these 3 first. I pump fresh water in all day. What I want to start doing in the tournaments on the bay and stuff like that for the club, the all day tournaments, is putting ice in, putting in G-Juice, because G-Juice specifically neutralizes chlorine and any other chemicals that may be in your gas station ice. And basically what you do is you put your ice in right at the beginning of the day. You don't put any water in your live well. Catch your first fish, start filling up your live well until it's full. Plug it, put your G-Juice in, plug it, recirculate it on timer all day. That water should never get.
Do you think the inner lining matters as far as like whether it's white or like a black inner lining of your live well? Do you think it makes it cooler if it's like a
Black.
whiter line? You know what I
I
mean?
don't personally think so, but I
Maybe
honestly,
you
I don't
agree.
know if I've
Maybe.
ever seen a bass boat that has a black live well.
I don't know. I would.
Bass cats are blue, if I'm not mistaken. I
Really?
think.
I wonder if that makes
I've seen blue.
a difference as far as like
I-
temperature.
I agree with Paul and Greg said earlier, recirculating all day, but oxygen is.
I use a Gatorade bottle. To go back to
Yeah.
Kevin's comment, he said the one single water bottle was thawed out in 25 minutes. I like to thaw the Gatorade bottles and use a single Gatorade bottle. If I have enough, obviously I have enough room in my live well when I have a bunch of 1.5 pounders, but if I'm stacking 5 pounders in there, the Gatorade
Oh,
bottle is
dude.
going to be a
I hope I'm
So-
stacking 5 pounds in there next week.
So this is actually a point that I wanted to make for a long time in the club, and I want to bring it up at the next meeting. To be honest with you, when summer tournaments are happening, right? Most of our bass boats, I don't know about every specific one, but I know Rangers have a big live well with a divider. I get one side, Ryder gets the other side. Last tournament, which was in June, it was hot, pretty hot day. I had 5, my Ryder had 5 by 8:30. It's 10 fish in that live well. It's a lot of fish,
Yeah.
sucking up oxygen quickly.
Yeah.
So
quickly.
fish care, I almost feel like you should, and there should be a time where from this date to this date, you're only the riders maybe, and just because it's a rider thing, are only keeping 3 fish,
It's important
just for the
our-
sake of keeping those fish alive, because it's hard to keep 10 fish alive all day long. I don't
Yeah.
care what you're pumping in.
It's important
Like,
for our
that's 10
fishery to do
fish.
so.
Like it's
But it's a research.
dude, let's think about this. We both had 14 pounds. There was no fucking room at either side of that live well. None.
No.
The fish are on top of each other. Dude, they're literally side to side. I'm pumping in fresh water all day, and every fish in the live well, both sides, has got his nose running with the bubbles.
Mark
That's how
made a
quick
great
they're sucking
comment.
oxygen.
Mark
Real-
made a
real
great
quick.
comment.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the ammonia, the pee in the water that you need to worry
Mm.
about, is what Martin said.
Yeah.
And that's another factor that honestly wasn't even going through my mind. At this
Mar-
point in
Mar-
time. I'm
Martin-
thinking about water temperature. But if you stack a bunch of fish in there and
They're
they're
stressed.
they're stressed and they're doing their thing all over each other, you put urea in the water
Mhm.
and you're not circulating, moving fresh water in and out, those fish are gonna die.
Well,
So-
Martin also said he fizzes his koi. So
So but to your point, that's what G juice is for. So G juice is specifically engineered and designed to neutralize the ammonia that the fish put in.
Gotcha.
So
Martin just said the same exact thing as you said.
right. So
Right.
G juice is. I don't know about the
what
other
about
ones.
a bleeding fish? Because it was a question.
A bleed. Okay, so I've actually done this
Mountain Dew?
successfully.
Mountain Dew.
Any soda.
Yeah.
Or G juice. You can use G juice to pour right.
That's what Deborah mentioned.
Talking about a fish that's bleeding real bad and you put soda in the live well.
You put it in their mouth. You
Pour it
hang it
down their
over the
throat.
side of the boat and pour it down their throat. It absolutely.
What,
So-
something to do with the carbonation?
They
absolutely
say, they
works.
say
Sugar.
Mountain Dew, but
No,
It's sugar.
any soda.
It's
Yeah.
the sugar.
It blood clot. It clots it up.
Ah,
Yeah.
It absolutely works. 100%. I'm telling you. I swear by it. I absolutely swear by it.
Anybody check the water temp yesterday? Just I'm trying to answer some of the
90,
comments.
90,
It was
91.
yeah, Deborah. It was 90. Yeah. I never cut my
I
depth
agree
on
with.
off
I agree to go up to Great Hall's comment. He said our club does a 3 fish
because of that.
because a club TX where we carry 5 all day, it really doesn't make a difference at the end of the year.
right.
I mean, it's just your weights may be a little bit different, but if you're doing best out of 3, obviously your weights are going to be different. But I really like the idea of keeping 6 fish in your live well instead of 10 fish in your live well.
It's a
for the
huge
tournament.
difference.
That's a
Yeah.
massive difference in probably the survival rate of your
Right.
your
To
bass.
Tony's point earlier, you got like a lot of fish in your live well. That's a lot less oxygen that we already brought up. That it's
Yeah.
ammonia.
And look, I'm not going to make an excuse because it is what it is. But like, there's guys in our club that have recently moved on from smaller boats. Like, there's a couple boats in our club, and unfortunately, mine has been in the conversation where you have smaller live wells, right? Like, my boat has a 10-gallon smaller live well than a new Ranger now. Like, that's a huge difference. Like,
Yeah.
there are guys in our club, and I'm not going to mention the names, used to have trackers and were always struggling with dead fish. Like, one of the guys in our club has an older Ranger with a small live well, is always struggling with dead fish. Like,
You have to oxygenate that water much faster because you have a smaller live well. Your chemical buildup from urea and such is going to build up differently.
Yeah.
Quicker rates with a smaller live well.
I saw
The comments are off the hook right now.
yeah, I love our comments. I can't stop reading them. No,
I think as long as
somebody pees in their live well. I don't know.
Right.
It's like-
Kevin's comment, I mean, as long as you can have, guys who are honest, I think that's a good idea. But I mean, that's You know, for some
It's
clubs,
tough
hard
to get away with
yeah.
when you have big money on
Paul's
the-
like people can't even catch 5 fish, so what's the matter? I don't know.
See, like my thing is, I disagree with the paper tournament format because
Is that like
keeping-
MLF kind of format or something?
either way, even if
Yeah.
it's your best 5, because keeping the fish alive is part of the game, right? It's part of the game. It's you
And the
have
game
to
you're playing.
you have to be good at keeping your fish alive as well as you are catching them. I'm sorry, like it's just it's an implied task of being a tournament fisherman.
It's a good thing, but Paul is ripping up this 3 fish.
I can't. I had to take my half glasses off because I can't read them. I'm not focused because I love our viewers, and Paul is pretty much part of the show. But
I mean, basically at this
the
point,
comments is just they're killing me right now.
I don't know, but
Don't start reading them because you will get unfocused. I was totally out. I was late sewing to them.
I definitely I think keeping fish, keeping them alive is a big thing.
Right.
And
I
I've
also
lost
just like
fish
bringing in the fish.
because I honestly think it's an overlooked part of fishing. Like when I got into this, even after I went and bought the boat and stuff like that, I never researched how to keep fish alive. Never. Not until it started costing me points. Then I started thinking about it. But and it sucks because nobody wants to kill fish, right? But you learn, right? I've gotten a lot better at it, and the only 2 I've lost this year have been because they were gut hooked. That shit's going to happen. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Not
But
much
like
to do.
Tongue hook.
Christ, you guys watch all the fish I weigh in these tournaments. You can't even hardly grab them.
Right.
I mean, I feel like I've made improvements on it now that Martin and Dustin will fucking say something. I know it.
Don't look at it. Dude. Can't look at it no more.
They're
I mean,
in your
Kevin,
head.
at the same
Mark-
time, we're fishing Thursday nighters right now with
God damn it.
$500 payouts and stuff. I mean, that was on that 20 boat night, which was good. Last night, I know it was a little bit less because we only had 16 boats at the turnout. But at the same time, like that, I mean, $100 payouts is a little bit different than guys showing up and trying to win 600. So imagine if somebody got first place lunker and big snakehead for a 3-hour fishing tournament. You go home with $700. I mean, dude, that's phenomenal.
Did you guys see Martin messing with me on Instagram the other day, by the way?
It's pretty easy to do that.
I know I'm very easy to mess with, but I loved it because he like posted a Denny Brower interview on you guys.
It's
know I
my
love
favorite
Denny
fisherman
Brower.
ever. dude.
Mine too. And Martin's like in this interview, he talks about how Riverboat Rob taught him how to flip.
So I want to go on a slight side tangent on this because Danny Brower is like one of the best people to watch if you want to learn like bass fishing 101. Danny Brower, like he's got it covered.
Greatest of all time.
I honestly like
Yeah.
in terms of like the versatility of a fisherman, Danny Brower has got to be the guy because he pretty much, I don't want to say he invented flipping and pitching, but he damn near perfected it.
D. Thomas
Like-
invented it, but Denny Brower definitely
Denny
was
Brower,
one of the best
like,
to do it.
where Denny Brower left off with a jig, Greg Hackney picked up.
Yeah.
Like absolutely without a doubt, because for years Denny Brower dominated. Like doesn't matter what kind of where they were fishing, Denny Brower throwing a jig. Might be a football jig, might be a ball head jig. He's throwing a jig, swim jig, whatever, and he would just consistently destroy him. Like kind of like, and I'm not gonna go ahead. Sorry.
He almost won, and correct me if I'm wrong, the listeners, and I mean to cut you off, Tony, but I want to say he was almost Angler of the Year and Bassmasters and FLW in the same year and won a class.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have learned.
And was on the Wheaties box and was on the Dave Letterman show. Swear to God, he was in Dave Letterman show
Yeah,
with Ozzy Osbourne.
He's one of the only fishermen to be on the Wheaties box.
He tried to teach Ozzy Osbourne how to flip. On Dave Letterman in the parking lot. You gotta watch the stories, but Denny Brower was just, and he didn't play either. You came in his spot, he was fishing. He'll whoop your ass. I love him.
He's old school, man. Like you guys check him out. He's one of the best like informative fishermen. Like I used to watch
Davey Height
nothing.
too. Yeah, Davey Height too.
I used to watch nothing but Danny Brower videos.
Yeah,
Because he fishes, he knows what he's good at, and he maximizes that freaking talent, and he would always do well.
and
Like,
well respected in the industry
Mhm.
and a
Oh,
legend.
yeah.
And a legend.
big Ranger guy,
Mhm.
Strike King,
That's
Arden.
what
He was one of the original Arden pros.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't checked him out, please do it because it's definitely well worth your time.
But flipping was actually invented by D. Thomas in California. Let's see who we got in flipping. I don't know if he still fishes or not. That's where it came from. But Denny Brower and a bunch of other guys and Davey Height and took it to another level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Davey Height fished the pond, didn't he? They're talking about Davey Height on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I call those. I
I don't
too
even
much
know who the
juice.
fuck Davey Height is.
The
Yeah,
Dave,
no,
you,
it'd just be like-
you don't know the Davey Height humps? That's what
Right.
I call them.
Now they're everyone's humps.
Wait a minute. First of all, you do know who he is. Right?
For real?
He's one of the he does a commentary.
It's like
now.
him, Tommy.
Tommy,
I mean,
Sanders,
dude, I'm gonna
and
say it
Mark
right
Reynolds,
on this
yeah.
podcast. Everybody is watching that watches every week. I do not follow the Elite
Oh, you're right. You
Series.
did
I
say
do
that.
not follow Bass. I don't follow anything. I don't follow any of the pro shit.
And that's
None
and you
of
know
it.
what? And that's kind of what I like about this is everyone here at this table is at a different like,
I
interest
love
level of the sport.
bass fishing. I love bass fishing. But I don't follow any of the pro shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
No?
dude, I'm still like,
You're a tackle junkie, so you follow all the tackle guys, though.
I mean, I follow a lot of the tackle guys and stuff like that, but like honestly, like I just don't take the time out of my Sunday morning or whatever to sit down and watch whatever was going on
I got
in
a
the Elite
point on that.
Series. However,
I got a point on that
I'm
one.
just active, man. I still like I don't ride dirt bikes anymore, but I still love dirt bikes and like,
Right.
I still go out
You
my
don't have to
garage.
watch all
I mean,
that.
I just don't put the effort into it. I mean, watching the professional anglers on television ain't doing shit for me in Joppatown or on the Havre de Grace Flats.
No.
So let me ask you
no.
It's
this:
just
Right. No,
is because I don't follow them. I look
I
at
follow
it.
professional
Yeah.
motocross. That's what I follow. I take the time out of my Saturdays to watch pro
I follow
motocross.
skateboarders.
While some guys might watch.
So like
fishing.
I watch the bass tournaments. What I like to watch are the recaps,
Mhm.
like the ones that they post after the
You
tournament.
can't watch 8 hours live.
No,
right.
no.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I think that maybe to Chad's point, because I'll take that a step further. Like from somebody who is a weekend fisherman who fishes local club tournaments or whatever, like what the pros do doesn't really apply to me.
They don't like to give up their juice too much. They give up little
Well,
things.
it's not
here and
even
there.
that. It's like compare my boat to anyone on the Elite Series.
Yeah. You're better off watching the.
I don't have 360. I don't have live imaging.
See,
I don't have all this
You're-
other crap.
You're
Like,
better off watching the podcast. If you want my opinion, I watch all of them. Fishing's day on my house. My wife can tell you about fishing. She don't even fish like that because it don't go off on my TV. But you get more juice on the podcast when they sit down with like someone like us and they
Yeah.
start talking to them. They how'd you win this or what were you doing there? You get a little more juice that way.
is that a brownie?
But
You
can
didn't bring
watch-
like a plate of
You could've
brownies for everybody?
you do get some juice from watching tournaments though because it's live now, so you can sit there and you can actually watch them.
but did you watch the Bass Live on the St. Lawrence River? I'm sure
I
you
did not.
Okay.
I did not.
So
I watched none of it.
I skimmed it here
None
and
of
there, and
I don't watch
checked
a lot of
in.
the smallmouth stuff.
So I checked in, I checked out, but everything what I was watching, it was guys staring at their screen.
But
That
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
excite me.
I'm just I'm
sorry.
gonna turn our conversation. Just look at the conversation. I mean, a lot of people have already commented said it absolutely makes a difference to watch professional fishing
I
and
agree.
apply professional fishing to your fishing. I can't say one or the other because I haven't taken the time to do so. So my opinion on that is invalid. I just invest my time into other things
But-
because I still have other hobbies, dude. I freaking love motocross. Dirt bikes is like, dude, that's what I came up on. The reason why I got involved in fishing is because I fucked myself up on a dirt bike and I couldn't ride one.
Mm.
So one of my homeboys was like, "Let's go hit this pond," and I caught some fish in the pond,
And
and
you
then and then I was hooked on it.
we all get
So
hooked in our
it's
own
like-
ways. on
It's a
it,
little
but,
bit different for me, but I can totally see how the guys that are going out and they're fishing pro, Martin,
They're doing
Paul,
it for a living.
Dustin,
first of all-
Gray, everybody's watching it. It's because of what they're passionate about. You can take different tips and stuff from some of the professional anglers.
So first of all, this is 2022. You don't have to watch it on Saturday morning. You can watch it whenever you want.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so like, I mean, so before we get off this podcast,
You're not watching no fishing.
I don't even know where to go to watch it.
YouTube. You go Bassmasters YouTube page and watch.
Does Bassmasters have a YouTube page that
Of course.
posts every episode?
They recap all the
Oh,
tournaments.
All right. Well, I mean,
They show. They
so like
post their
that's what
live
I'm saying.
videos,
That's
too.
what I'm saying. I
You know
literally
who's
don't
on
actually
You want
know.
to get really entertained? Go Lynn Dollar on YouTube. So people probably know what I'm talking about. Lynn Dollar, Rob's living in 2042. Lynn Dollar has all the old school videos too. Like you can watch like the '89 Bassmaster Classic, the Hank Parker one, and like you can
I relate with you,
you
Greg.
can watch
I relate with you.
But a lot of the guys that are fishing,
Don't have cable.
for a living that fish
in
the big
2042
tournaments,
we
whatever,
got
they
cable.
also have their own YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And
Oh
they,
yeah,
and
Scott
they,
Martin has
I'll-
perfected
Get
that.
closer.
sorry. A lot of the people that fish the huge tournaments, they're doing this for a living. They have their own YouTube pages. So a lot of the times I won't watch the live stuff. I'll watch what they post afterwards on their their YouTube channels. So they usually dive into what they did that day, or
Mhm.
they'll teach you something new that you probably didn't know before just because they posted it on YouTube.
There's
That's
the whole-
what I do.
That's the whole thing too
Yeah.
with people who are leery that, like Scott Martin will tell you, he's going to plug Google Baits. If you watch his YouTube
Yeah.
channel,
But
he's,
so
he's
what?
catching everything on Google Baits because it's his sponsor. But
Is he though?
Right.
I mean, a lot of
That's
times you
the
can see them
point.
pulling stuff out of the water. I mean, you can tell what's on there. You can tell. You can tell it's
Listen,
Guggen baits.
Listen, Tony just went to the bathroom to drop a Guggen bait. Okay, that's it. What?
you
I
can't.
said Tony went to the bathroom to drop a Guggen bait.
Oh, good Lord, dude. No, but you really don't watch. You watch stuff though, because I know you.
I watch things. I really don't.
more the tackle. You hook up tackle.
I don't.
You don't really follow them like that. You
I
should.
don't watch hook up tackle. I mean, like, dude, I follow like wired fishing and all that shit.
Wired
Like,
to fishing
Facebook
is
and shit,
good.
but, like,
Wired
I
to
watch it
fish.
like as I pass, like going down through it. But like, no, there is nothing that I specifically follow that is just like that I'm like dedicated to. That I'm like bass oriented.
I put it.
agree. I'm the same way.
I
I'd rather
put-
just get out there and figure it out and do
I
stuff.
fish, so like I fish. So I mean, not to. I fish 2 days a week, 3 days a week. I do this podcast almost 3 days a week, so I'm doing it twice a week at home, and then on Thursday nights I'm going live. So between I'm fishing 2 days a week, I'm doing live on this podcast 2 to 3 days a week, and in between that, I like to get my motocross in. And that's just kind of how I feel about it.
Great.
Personally.
Read Greg's comment. I'm just saying, just read Greg's comment.
Where's Greg's comment?
It's right there.
Dude, you are young. I raced till I was 37. Bro, I got bills to pay. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it right now.
Bass University too.
I
like
thoroughly
said.
love and enjoy people that race GNCC. GNCC is sick. It's very, very cool, but you guys ain't freaking jumping 120-foot gaps on a dirt bike. You're running through trees at 50 miles an hour, which is dope. And you can really hurt yourself doing things like that. But the motocross scene and the GNCC scene is totally different. I've raced both. I've raced GNCC. I've raced trails. I've raced motocross. It's different. I keep on hurting myself in the motocross world. I got to back
Who
out.
was
Oh, I can't believe you just went there.
Fucking great.
I raced 250s and I raced 125s, and then as
So-
soon as I got this house and I had bills to start paying, I was like, I wanted to so one of the things was I was living in this house. I know we're going on different areas now, but let's learn
I'm gonna bring it back. To
Let's
something.
learn a little bit about some of the guys that sit here and talk in Bass and Beer Radio and our backgrounds.
I'm skateboarding.
When I was into big motocross 250s and 125s when I bought this house.
Two strokes.
Two strokes and
Hell
four
yeah.
strokes. I had both. I had the best of both worlds.
It only takes you.
I
two
got out of
strokes, so-
racing because one, I was scared to get hurt and I couldn't pay my bills. But I'm also, dude, I can't come home from work and I can't kick over a 250F and go riding down the street in my
Sure you can.
neighborhood, dude.
Why
People,
not?
yeah, sure. People are gonna get pissed off though.
Not
So
my
I
thing.
kind of came home. One day I seen a guy riding down the road on a little CRF 110, a little CRF 50, and I was like, that's pretty sick. I'm like, he's just riding around on a dirt bike, but it's quiet. So I bought one and I ended up getting into pit bike
Is this
racing.
your rebuttal to the
Which,
mini
by
bike?
the way, I'm also
Yes.
taking 110cc dirt bikes and boring them out and building them, and still sending 30 and 40-foot gap jumps.
I think we hit a soft spot with Joe.
Don't call me out on that shit.
Go
That's
Chad,
just my life,
Chad
bro.
all worked up, started talking shit about dirt bikes. So,
I mean, if it hasn't been apparent, that is the other passion in my life that I'm very, very passionate about, and like I respect everybody that's willing to swing a leg over a quad or a freaking dirt bike and go out there and shred. But the injury rates in motocross compared to GNCC are completely different.
Greg talked big skateboarding shit the other day too to me, so I'm bringing a skateboard to the boat ramp next time.
He's always rocking
See,
it.
here's the Greg. I race C class in motocross, and I race A class in GNCC. That's the difference. Sorry.
It's getting real.
you hit a soft.
Like, fight at the docks. I'm calling it right now.
No, dude, it is all love. Absolutely all love.
Of course, yeah,
Never-
it's all for fun. It's all-
Yeah.
I've owned dirt bikes my whole life.
Yeah.
I got a 1983 YZ125 sitting at the house. It still runs. I still ride it all the time. Never raced
I
it.
like to get it.
Yeah.
Never raced it, dude.
They
Never,
ain't
never
hard.
even been on a track.
Before I forget,
Like, just ride it through the woods, scream it, hill climbs, just stupid shit. you
so
know?
there is.
It all starts in a field somewhere.
There
That's what I'm
are
saying. Yeah.
2 pro fishermen that were motocross racers,
Fletcher and
Joe
Hunter
as well.
Shire.
Yeah.
Yep.
and one fishes MLF, one fishes.
I know a lot of guys that are really into
Fletcher
bass
and Hunter-
fishing that
Hunter
are into
Shire were
motocross. too.
motocross
Like,
guys.
it seems like honestly, like
There's a couple
Adam-
skateboarders too.
Adam
Oh, yeah.
Grauman, who I've had on the show, one of my best buddies, has come on here before. He is a huge fisherman, but he's also a massive motocross
Right,
racer.
yeah.
But like, and he's the one that even got me into fishing. I met Adam through motocross,
Mhm.
and then showed me his second passion of bass fishing, and here I am now.
So
So it's his fault.
to be, if you were
It's always fun.
trying to be like pro fisherman, man, you gotta live, breathe, eat it, sleep it,
I
live
would
it.
never want to do it.
Right.
Never.
But we're, we just love it.
Love
And
every,
we try
all
to
of it.
fish whenever we can. But you can have other hobbies. It's not wrong to go ride dirt bikes instead of going fishing one day. I ain't mad at you.
ANGC is the way.
Calm Chad down there. He's getting a little hyped up.
Pro in GNCC.
Oh, good Lord. Greg's you
Poking
don't
the bear.
poke
Pro
up
in
hornet's nest.
GNCC with like Caleb.
Well, skinniest bear.
I'm trying to remember Caleb's last name. But I'm just saying that there's.
Oh, Evan in the house. What's up, man?
What's up, Ev? What's up, Hippie Gibbs?
Hippie Gibbs in the house. Me and
I
Hippie
am
Gibbs.
Kevin. I'm a little bit upset right now, but I mean, listen, you
kind
can't.
of fun.
Hey, man, I'm just saying when you have a guy, I respect both forms of riding. When you have somebody that's raced GNCC, but they didn't race motocross and go to the track and experience different forms of competition, like there's a different thing there. But like I personally, in my experience, do the A class in the woods and the A class on the motocross track. You're looking at 2 different things. I'm not saying an A class motocross racer is going to go into freaking GNCC and blow anybody up. We're talking about fishing.
So I will say, right now, I feel like when I tell like one of my friends that don't fish, like check out the
Start a
podcast.
motocross
And they're like-
podcast now.
I tell people, they're like, "Oh, check me out on the podcast," and they're like, "I had no idea what y'all was talking about." That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck.
Dude, I could get
A
into
class, C class, B class, YZ 125. I
Hey,
know that.
Paul, it is
Best comment of the night goes
Man,
Paul
it
Bailey.
really is, dude. I don't know.
Yep,
He
it's
really
true
did.
enough.
He really hit one of my marks right now. Like, dude,
We
it's
know.
another one of my passions in life. I just freaking love motocross, dude. They retired at GNCC because it's harder.
Stop replying to Greg. Greg, leave him
They
alone.
retired at GNCC because it's harder, bro.
Leave him alone, Greg.
So
Every
you're-
time Greg tells you
So
something, he goes,
your other passion, skateboarding.
yes, sir.
Yours was baseball.
Fuck
for a
baseball,
long
am I right?
time. Fuck baseball.
We got motocross. Baseball.
So-
your other passion was baseball too,
for,
right?
for my whole life, dude.
Baseball, skateboarding,
Both went to
motocross.
college.
Dustin's comment. Later on, bikes and business. Ah, it's awesome.
Oh my god.
We know how to get Chad mad now. We
As
know
much
that
as
much.
listen, I'm not upset.
Well,
I'm upset. I'm not.
let me reword it. Yeah, let me reword that. Let me reword it. Worked up.
I'm gonna go give
That
Greg a hug next time.
Of course, I know
It
it's
ain't
all
don't
for fun.
matter. It's
Yeah.
all for fun.
We know how to
I
get
just
Chad
see things
worked up.
differently.
Is what I meant.
And
Three
it's-
inches,
I was
3
like,
inches,
God
other
damn
girl,
it.
15,
Oh
15,
my
15.
god, dude! Freaking- I'm not going to the garage. I'm rebuilding this
You
for my
can't.
25. I'm lining back up at the gate. I'm getting back on.
Hey, I'll bring the old Yamaha that you got kicked
Kev-
500 times.
Kevin, Oh, BMX. He raced BMX. I used to do a little freestyling on BMX
That's a
too.
massive
That's-
transitioning point into motocross for a lot of young riders.
I got in skateboarding and BMX was like,
Yeah.
I actually had a skateboarding career, so the whole thing. It is
So-
what it is.
Now, me and Skylar played baseball together for what, 5-6 years?
Really?
Long in high school, before high school, into college.
Oh, you played college ball?
He did for 4 years. I played for a year.
Nice.
And then that's actually how I got started. Like, I ended up not playing ball anymore, and I was like, dude, I gotta have something to do.
Like
Like-
you went to motocross.
Well, pretty much. Like, I was,
Apparently, he's still passionate.
where I went
about it.
to college, and I haven't talked to you a whole lot about it, but it was a very like freaking. It's a military college. It's aggressive as shit. Like, there's nothing to do in your free time other than work out, which I didn't find that passion until after college. But like, I was like, dude, I got to do something. And Cliff, who we had on one of our first episodes, was stationed at VMI to teach ROTC. And we got to talk one day. And he's like, we should start a bass team. And I'm like, all in. And that was it. It was game over from the fucking start, dude. Like, I went fishing on this man's boat for the first time, and I was just like, holy shit. Like, yes, because I grew up fishing, but we striper fish, we bass fish.
Right.
You know how we bass
Crossbar.
fish with a fucking bass assassin fluke. If they didn't eat that, they didn't eat. They're dead fish here. Like, just stupid stuff.
Martin just there's a start. They're fucking with Chad, dude. It's hilarious. Read Martin's comment, dude.
You have to read it out loud.
He says, I don't even have to. Have you seen those awesome new?
Don't let me catch you with the boat ramp, Martin.
It says, has anyone seen those awesome new swim baits from Guggen?
Man, I'll tell you, I absolutely love tonight's
Paul said
podcast.
they look
We went
amazing.
in a completely different direction for
Right.
a while, and I think that's pretty cool.
Paul said that.
So I hope-
Paul said those baits are amazing, dude. And he's on Tackle Talk, so he says they're amazing.
Hey, the
I'm
last thing that
canceling
we
this whole show. I'm deleting Bassmere Radio's page.
the last thing that we had on the list was Guggen Baits. I'm just saying. It's written on the paper.
Yeah, because we were going to go on how they suck because Ben was spending one part on the hookup tackle.
Apparently, our listeners are very fond of them.
They're lying.
Martin's gonna get a rattle trap built up by his head at like 100 miles an hour. He's gonna look behind him. Chad's just gonna be there with a rod.
Chad's gonna be like the predator, just like lurking, waiting for an opportunity. Oh,
That's
man.
fucking good, man. That was good, dude. That was pretty good.
But yeah, no, it's I don't know. Like at the end, and that's what's cool about bass fishing, and especially in this community, whether it's us or the guys that fish the reefers, like there's so many different people that come in from different backgrounds. Like Paul was a distance runner. Greg used to race motocross or jeans, whatever the fuck. I'm not going into it again, right? Me and Skylar used to play baseball.
I think Paul used
Like-
Greg used to ride like horses or something.
Oh man.
Oh,
But it's like
man, no,
we
Greg-
all just we all have the same interests and we all do the same thing, and it's fun because it's like at the end of the day, like I don't think fishing's a hobby. I think it's a passion. Now, I did want to bring this up because we almost mentioned it because Kevin brought up Jesse, and we mentioned it before the show. I want to have some of the significant others, some of the guys in this community on the show
I love to.
talk about what it's like dealing with us ADHD
Mhm.
jerk assholes that want to do nothing but fish freaking 7 days a week and basically ignore them for however long.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I think when we do that, we're gonna start out with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I hope my wife is watching right now.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm out fishing 2 to 3 days a week. I got the homeboys up in my house 2 to 3 days a week doing
Almost
podcasts.
live here.
She is cooking for us when she comes here. There's 2 plates of brownies out in the kitchen right now for us when we're done.
Brownies and beer right here.
Brownies. She cooks for us. I mean, she makes sure that we're all ready to go. She makes us shots when we want.
Look at Paul's comment.
I'm gonna get dragged.
Oh, my wife is watching right now because she does. No, I'm not going to say it's so annoying. I'm not. But she was like, "Can I go fishing with you?" But I don't want to stay out if it gets too hot. So say it's
Oh,
like
that's not okay.
say it's like
Sorry.
slack tide at 9 o'clock. She's like, "Well, yeah, it's starting to get hot. Can you take it back to the boat ramp?" And I'm like, "This fucking tide just started going out."
Can't you like roll haul them off the side of the boat and pull them off.
Right, go. This fishing's about to get good any minute now.
Yeah,
Hey, you want me to ride all the way back to the
Kevin says, Kevin goes, well, that's going to be a good one to watch. I mean, honestly, dude, like, and Paul and I have had discussions about this specific YouTuber, but there's a guy named Randy Blaukat. We'll keep all opinions on Randy Blaukat to the side for now, but like, I kind of like the guy, but anyway. So like, he has a video and it's titled "Why Women Think Bass Fishermen Are Weird People," and it makes sense.
He's clickbait king, I agree, but yes, some of his videos make a lot of sense.
Right. And but here's the thing though, like let's think about this for a second. I've never met, assume I've never met any of you. Okay, speed dating situation. Let's get crazy, right? Speed dating. And what's your hobby? Fishing. Well, tell me a little bit about it. Let's say you start talking about whopper ploppers, ding floppers, devil's horses, Senkos, Texas rig, Carolina rigs, I don't know, Dakota rigs, whatever the fuck other state, and like,
Well,
You know what I mean?
you're not married, right? So
hell no.
my wife would know all that just because that's all I do.
But
Ashley has no interest. Ashley, I try to like, I'd be like, listen, I need a bass boat. Like, you come out with me. She's like, why would you get a bass boat?
I'm probably like a dick because I'm like,
I'm working on that.
we're not
Appreciate you.
fucking watching Family Feud. We're watching Bill Dance.
But it's like, I don't know, dude. Like
There you go.
I'll be honest with you.
Lucky guy.
Yeah.
My priorities in life, no shit, is my job, going fishing, and staying in the gym, staying fit. That's really it. Everything else is almost tied for last. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. So, like, I honestly, like, for especially,
I love our watchers, dude.
especially for you three, because y'all are in. I mean, obviously, you two are married. You've been in a relationship for a long time. Like,
I've been
you
married
guys
22 years.
have been dealing, like your significant others have been dealing with this obsession, addiction, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for a long time.
My wife is very supportive. I'm lucky too.
My thing is though, I don't, you've been fishing a lot longer than I have. I've really recently started in the last 3 or 4 years.
And you're starting.
I'd say, like, really,
You're welcome.
But I had met Ashley before I started bass fishing, so it's a different scenario. Like I don't know when you met your wife. I don't know if you've been bass fishing before you met your wife and all that stuff. But I met Ashley before I started doing that, so it's hard to. If I met her before that, obviously like bass fishing would be like a bigger part of my life. Like she would have to understand that. But for
She
now,
would be accustomed to it from
Right,
the start.
right. I can't just put her on the back burner to go out every day and her be able to like accept it.
And some of the people that's been like Paul might understand this, and some of the people, but I think my wife just likes it because she knows I love it. You know what I mean? So she supports it because she knows. So like I don't know if you guys are like me, but if you don't go fishing for a while, do you start like
Getting weird?
yeah,
Yeah,
like
it is
this
weird.
is bullshit. I gotta go out fishing.
Yeah,
I ain't been
absolutely.
fishing like all week,
I've
and
been fishing like a week and a half.
fucking falling off.
Dude, yes.
And, yeah, like my wife would tell
So
me,
here's
like,
the thing, right?
please, my wife would tell me like, please go fishing.
I'm gonna be honest
Because
with
you
you.
drive me crazy if you don't
Like,
get out there.
I am in the frame of mind where I do what I want when I want to do it.
Right.
Mainly because at work, there's
Me
always
too. If somebody
somebody.
says yes.
There's always somebody giving me orders and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? But like, if I want to go to fishing on a Saturday, I'm gonna go.
Right.
I don't care. Jessica Biel could slide in my DMs today. I'm going fishing Saturday. I don't care.
Right.
Like,
For Jessica Biel,
Yes,
I'm at Jessica Biel's place that minute.
Is she married?
you are married. Dude.
But this is Jessica Biel, alright?
No,
Hey, look, in
I'm
every relationship, there's one like if it was.
no, I don't have that.
Well,
There's,
yeah, you.
I don't. There is
You
no.
just sling it all over town.
There is-
I'm just
shit.
joking.
There is no like. If it was this person, I wouldn't go fishing. Like I don't care. I'm going fishing. Like, and for me, it's almost a principle thing, dude. Like, it's almost like it's as it's
Paul
as
would-
much of a I'm going to do what I want, but it's also a like. Just because you're not gonna fucking tell me I can't.
So good point. But as like so, Dan says Raul's wife is passionate about Bath and Body Works, and she is. She has like a whole. It's almost like. But I support it,
She supports
Yeah.
you.
and she supports me.
Because it's
She
easy when you
supports
both
Right,
have something
because I
you
know
both
that
can
makes her
support,
happy.
right?
Yeah. And I want to see her happy, and she knows fishing makes me happy. So she, I sometimes I ask her, I'm like, do you think I should throw like a chatterbait or a bug bait? She's like chatterbait. I'm like, why? I don't know. were out fishing one time, and she was like, "Shouldn't you be throwing a frog? They're probably in that grass over there. I don't know why you're casting over there." And I was like, "Oh, really? Now you're."
So I actually have a good story. I have a good story about that. So the girl I dated for a long time, I'm still really good friends with her. She's a really good girl.
No, Dustin must be nice. I wish I could remind you about.
Absolutely correct. So we went out. I'll never forget this. And like I said, we
The
dated for a long
comment of the
time.
night.
We're still good friends and all that stuff. And we went out fishing on Back Channel one day, and I'm out there and fishing for a little while. She's like, and she's God love her, great heart, but she talks a lot of smack. And I'm like, and she goes, you know what? I don't know why you haven't thrown a chartreuse spinnerbait yet. And I'm like, I'm on the front of the boat. Like, what the fuck do you know? She's like, dude. I mean, it was like incredible. She's like, well, look at the water and there's wind. And I'm like,
Who have you been talking to?
like, okay, sure. This was like 4 years ago, not even maybe 3. And I'm like, okay, go ahead, put it on. 5 fucking pounder, dude. She whacked one. I'm like, what the fuck? I took the rod. I'm like, give me that.
Cut the bait off.
Oh yeah, she's pissed. It's like, are you serious? I just tied it on, decided that was what I was going to throw, threw it, and called it a 5 pounder. I'm like, yeah, now give me the damn rod. I got a tournament next weekend.
Bullshit.
It's like,
Bring you out
come on.
fishing, you fucking outfish me. You're like, "You get the fuck off my boat."
Oh, dude, it was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, my feelings were hurt. I was on the front of that boat. I was doing everything. I'm throwing chatterbait. I'm throwing buzzbait. I'm throwing a freaking speed worm. I'm doing all the shit.
laid
She's
the
like,
smack down.
nah, fuck you. Fucking chartreuse chatterbait.
Yeah.
See,
Whack
I
them.
wish I want to get my girl to fish more. She loves coming out on the boat, but it's to catch a tan.
That's what my wife does. My wife will go out. She doesn't really fish. She said last time, she said, I want to actually, start trying. Now she's ready to start trying to actually fish when we go out. But I mean, she just wants being out on the water and just spending time.
I'm jealous.
Like
of
Paul said,
Yeah,
Paul
dude,
said
I'm jealous.
his wife fishes Thursday night.
I love that.
It's something they spend time together. It's something to
Yeah.
spend time together.
That's how you gotta sell it to
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
I get a fucking boat first.
That's how you sell the
that, that
boat.
would help. That would help. Yeah.
That's
But
how you sell the boat.
it's spend time together on, like Chad's girlfriend comes up all the time just because it's something y'all do together. She supports you, and that's a good thing. And we got a tournament coming up for this, don't we? Why is it
Yes,
so quiet? Why
yes.
is everybody so quiet?
I don't know.
Y'all guys got
I don't
side
know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, I had to think about it for a second. Yes, and it's supposed to. So I know that. I think is it Kevin's girl? Is it Jesse?
Yeah,
She does, Dan.
Jesse, I think, was supposed to work this past tournament on Thursday, and was able to fish this next week. So I was planning on doing the whole little bet thing we were going to do this
might
week.
not be able to do it this week.
Okay. Well, we have to set all that up. I definitely want to set that. That'd be pretty
Hey,
cool having
I
like
can't
4 or 5
remember
guys.
what
You guys-
So-
just y'all should handicap yourselves as much as possible because I'm coming for #1 next week.
No, this is more. This is better than number
Tony
one.
had this boost of confidence recently, and I'm loving it. It's
No,
like
this
he's
is
freaking-
this is
I was
he's
talking
taking-
a little
he's
bit
like-
of shit last
It's like
night.
Tony taking Viagra or something like that recently.
this is
That's why the
Like your
table
ego,
keeps
dude.
lifting up on this side.
So- It's Kevin that won last
Kevin.
night. Paul Batters,
Right, Chad. And
Chad, and me.
Okay.
Cool. You still call them Craig and our significant others. And if you lose, it's $5 bet. Like so, if say Paul beats us, we gotta sign the $5.
Deborah says she's up for it.
Deborah's down for. I think it's Deborah, and her husband's name is Bert, I believe. Deborah and Bert
But we gotta sign. You do realize we gotta sign it,
signed the bill.
right? So they like whoever wins can like show it off.
There it is.
Yeah. So it's straight. It's more like.
That'll be a good time. I think
Yeah.
that'll be a good time.
Is
I
this-
think I think Scott supports it too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Scott was like, really? Like, he
Yeah.
was all about it. Scott's a good dude. Scott's a real good dude.
Okay, Martin is stirring the fucking pot here. This-
Martin is off the
Martin is stirring the pot.
I've been all night, though. It's been all night. Martin's just here to fuck with us.
I'm telling you, that's his job. He's like the gremlins that live in all our boats. They just pull.
Martin's a gremlin.
Martin says I told Clinton Dustin today he's dropping out of our Joppatown tournament because of me. Well,
Oh,
Look.
Kevin lost one, by the way. Just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just read the comment.
how did I do in the last year's Joppatown tournament? I had 3 fish for like 6 pounds, maybe. Not a good showing for me.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, this guy's probably." I'm like, "Guys, stop! Like, it's not how it works."
No, it isn't.
Every time I think I'm going to go out and beat him, I don't do shit. You know what I mean? Like the tournament that we won, I knew there was fish there, but I'm like, we're just gonna go fish here, and then it was fish. And then we actually really put it together, the tournament that we won. Now it's like the cat's kind of out of the bag. It's like I know I can go there and catch good bags going forward, which I'm sure Kevin and Paul have that same level of confidence too.
Paul said he can't fish this week again. You're not fishing this one, Paul?
What up, Paul can't fish again?
I think that's what he said.
I'm disturbed. There's been a disturbance in the force.
So I think Greg messed your whole equilibrium up. Like you're just all
Don't
over
even
the
get back into that shit, bro.
But that, and honestly, and I know I said it last week, but that's why I'm happy that we and Chad won the tournament that we won, because there were some of the best fishermen in that tournament that were involved in that. So, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I like Greg had said about the Solstice, how he chalks that up with his win in the SQT. I feel the same way. Like
I would love to win the Solstice one year.
I feel like winning the tournament last week is harder to do versus winning my club tournament. And you know my club's
Really?
full of sticks, dude.
Full of sticks.
Like
Really?
yeah, I really
I would,
think so.
I would like
That
to-
kind of makes me
I
more
would-
prouder of my wins now.
And I've won the club tournament here and there too. So it's like, you know, I'm not just saying this because it sounds good, but like I really do think that winning last week is harder to win against the guys in my club.
Well, Dustin's
I
coming
would
and bringing a
say-
secret weapon, apparently.
I would say that's the same thing about tidings. But like, if you win a tidings tournament, that's also kind of a big deal. I mean, you got
That's where I won my last club tournament, was out of tidings.
Just yeah,
Chester
it's kind of-
County.
That's a I mean,
I would-
Chester County Opens.
I would like to interrupt the conversation really quickly to say something to Kevin Parsons on here. real quick.
Oh, here we go.
I'm coming for both of you.
This goes like a
I'm
WWE
coming for
promo.
both of you. So we got this again, Tony. He ain't even worried about sea bass. You should worry about sea bass.
Look, I ain't talking no more trash.
Big worry about sea bass.
Can you
I'm
keep
coming
this-
for that shit.
Please keep this promo going for like another 15
And-
seconds.
I'm going,
Please, no, I'm begging.
I'm going to,
It's going to happen.
look, I'm
You
not
guys
going to
fish-
stay
You
in a
guys
swamp.
fish wherever you
Right
want
here.
to fish. I'm all doing it.
Some solid local stick fish there. Kevin said, "Yeah, I'm not like I'm going to be in a slump forever. I'm coming back. I want to come back."
Kevin, I know where you fished on Thursday, bro.
Paul said he'll pre-fish for you.
Dude, I straight up, I did not feel like going out and fishing last week.
Can you say
It was
Yes, I
so
did, Devin.
hot
I
out.
did. Yeah, I
Can
learned
you
my
say
lesson.
one
Talking
more
trash.
like trash talking line for me, please?
I cannot
Here,
because
one
like
more
Deborah
time.
said.
I just need you to talk smack one more time.
Okay.
Real close.
Lady
Like that.
Smackdown.
I'm coming after you, Kevin. You have nothing on the Bass and Beer radio crew. Do you know what you're getting yourself into out there? The John boat is going to beat all bass boats at all times. Aluminum is going to be world leader.
Got a lot of aluminum cans in it.
incredible. That was awesome. My face.
Oh my God. Maybe your passion should be fucking fake wrestling. That's awesome.
Definitely not motocross, according to Greg.
I really hope Martin was on there for that, because that was right up his alley.
Oh God.
Oh, that was awesome. That was cool as shit. Didn't I say that on one of the first episodes of the show that we should make
Kevin and
like
Paul battling it
Dude,
out.
Intro like that, yeah.
we should absolutely make like Thursday nighter promos for each of us, like WWF
Oh, man.
style,
Like
you know,
walkouts?
like just like some camera work and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Let's
Like,
do it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna come out there and I'm gonna catch 3 big fish.
That was way better than we should have done.
Right? Like just
Hell yeah, brother.
just over the top. Like don't make me laugh, don't make me laugh, don't make me laugh. And I'm gonna catch
WrestleMania!
And I'm gonna catch a 4.5 pounder. Because I am the best fisherman in the freaking Thursday night tournament, dude. Like, just totally over the top, put the freaking music in, put the crowd sound effect, just make it awesome. You know what I mean? Like, Martin, somebody stop the damn match. Like, oh, that would be awesome. Dude, God, that'd be fucking funny.
Fucking rip the ratchet straps off your boat trailer.
Dude, we could do that. Like, we have those videos from when we went fishing in Furnace that day. Like, let's take that video. All right, we're gonna do this. Let's
Vince
take the
McMahon.
video of me losing all those fish and put Jim Ross commentary on it
Oh, God.
from
Yeah.
WWE. Yes, it's gonna happen.
Oh.
It is gonna happen. We're gonna take the video that we posted like 2 months ago of me missing all the fish
I got one
and
too.
put Jim Ross's commentary on it, so it looks like just to see what happens.
I can
Vince
do it.
McMahon just retired.
Send me the video. I can do it.
Didn't he?
But
You guys
uh,
seen that?
he did.
Yeah,
I got
he
one
did.
too where I lost the fish and was like going off
Hey man,
cussing.
please, if you guys are watching the show right now and you guys
Can't
like the
stop
show
crying,
and you
dude.
guys love tuning into the show and love what we're doing, please like and share the video right now. Share the video to your Facebook page is a huge help to us. We just love coming on here and freaking just having fun, man. That's what this is all about. At the end of the day, we try to stick to our topics and we try to freaking give out the best information. But at the end of the day,
wrestling and motocross.
when we
like
get
that.
through everything and we start geeking out, dude, this is the fun part of the show to me. So, I mean,
So-
if you guys are enjoying this, please share this video.
All I'm saying is I got dibs on the Stone Cold Steve Austin Thursday Nighter promo.
Just cracking.
You guys do whatever else you
I mean,
want to do.
dude,
I got dibs on the Stone Cold
We
Steve
have
Austin
to.
promo.
Rob,
I even
me-
have the shirt
Rob,
that
me and
says
you gotta
"What?"
edit this up.
I can send me the video you want me to edit. Tell me what you want. I'll do
Need
it.
to make
the
We'll get
video.
to that. Yeah, I got it.
Did
No
you?
problem.
Are you a wrestling fan?
No, no.
You never watch wrestling? Even
No,
like,
no, yeah.
WrestleMania.
Right.
No, I have.
Like-
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be.
I'm gonna go wrestling. I'm gonna go like a.
We have to do it. We absolutely have to make promos. It's gonna be funny. as shit.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'll make one with like Paul Batters talking like he's badass.
So hey, look, you know what? Why not? Right? If you guys out there want to Kevin, you got to shave your head at the rim, dude. Hold on, side bet. Side bet. I'm kind of down,
I'm not shaving my head.
dude. I'm kind
I'm
of
shaving
down.
mine. It's turning gray
That's
anyway.
bullshit. I'm not shaving mine.
mine.
Are you shaving
No,
your head?
fuck.
I would
No,
get.
I'm not
You
doing
wouldn't do it for real?
No.
I will.
For real,
It doesn't even matter to me.
dude. I would do it. I would so do it.
So what? A shave? So what? Wait, but what's the bet though? Like if I place behind Kevin, I gotta shave my
If you
head.
place behind me, you'd have to shave your head.
But you're on when I get on the juice
You're on the
and your
fucking
juice
juice
got
right now.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
don't
that's
you
yeah.
Okay, neutral location.
You have to fish out past Greenbridge or something like that.
Too
maybe.
easy.
That maybe. Yeah, that is too easy. It's got to be because your juice is
At the boat ramp.
yeah,
At the
kind of
boat
in.
ramp.
No, well, never mind. But no. Foster Branch.
Oh God.
oh
God.
What a challenge!
Let's
Wait a
have
second,
with
last
Foster
year, I
Branch
pulled three
and the
bulls out of
losers
there.
have to
Not
shave
me,
their
but
head.
me and, Lloyd.
You guys did.
Foster Branch and the losers have to shave their head.
Dude, that would be fun.
I mean, I'll shave,
Oh
I'll
my gosh,
shave mine
dude.
right now. Give me some
Wait,
clippers.
somebody's gonna have to bring a generator, and Kevin says Jesse's got some hair clippers. She can take care of us.
Yeah.
Martin says no winner shaves loser's head.
Yeah, it's
true.
true. That's how it went.
Oh
Give me
my
a skullet. Just like shave all up here and then leave the back long.
God. The content would be fantastic. I just can't see myself being all freaking.
We'll leave like a little in the back sea bass.
It's
like,
not
written
that
in the
bad. It's not that bad. I had a buzz. I've had.
I'm
Like a
barely
whiffle
getting it.
cut
Dude,
so
last
many
time I had a
times.
buzz cut was like freshman year of college. Just because my
You're in
personal
military,
buzz.
so
Right. I got
I
nothing
tight.
to lose.
I
Right?
tight.
Come on.
Me and you are fishing together next week, so
Yeah, I know.
Are
Outside
you-
the
are you
bridge is
down
kind of
for
a
this?
bad call.
Oh,
Foster
the
Branch.
shaved head?
Yes.
No.
are you down for the shape?
Can you dig it?
I'm sorry.
Look, you
Hold
can
on,
call
I'm
it out.
gonna
That
call
was sissy.
I'm gonna call it right now. I gotta go home and ask my wife if it's okay.
Oh man.
Oh,
Damn.
damn. Damn.
She's not the one who cares about my hair. I
No,
care
no,
about my hair.
No hit below the belt. Damn, dude. It's just hair. It's just Candace. That is just hair. And called us sissies. Oh, thank you, Candace. I'll
She
shave
didn't even
mine.
say anything. She could go with Paul and outfish all of us. So I was like, what the fuck?
It would be worse if you told me I had to grow my hair. That would be difficult.
I would love to grow my hair again. I need another mullet like I had.
I had long hair.
Kevin's right. That would be.
That would be kind of funny
yeah.
though. We should.
Yeah,
totally,
once
like,
he's drank a couple, you know,
like just like
with
a
his silver
stupid-
burger.
Listen, somebody was at the boat ramp yesterday and they're like, "Why are you so quiet, Chad?" I was like, "I haven't drank 4 beers yet." I'm like, "Chill."
Yeah, he was like, he came back and I was like, "Are we going live?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm fucking pissed." He was like, "Fucking fishing fucking suck.
Dude,
Sucking
it was-
fishing. Fuck fishing."
So it was like one of them deals. Me and Steve went out yesterday with the goal of bringing back 3.
That is the goal.
It's always the goal. We placed well with 2 in most of these tournaments. Me and Skylar placed 4th with a 3rd in one of the tournaments. But hey,
Scholar's getting beat up.
Get out of here.
Chloe,
Come
on.
Chloe's beating Scholar up.
but with I wanted to go out and get 3. We placed good with 2 fish. I'm always like, man, that 3rd fish would make a huge difference for us.
Oh, yeah.
And last night we brought back 3, and I was excited that we brought back 3. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll say Steve caught all 3 of those fish last night. I threw a frog and a buzzbait the majority of the night. Steve was swapping in between, throwing a frog and another bait to follow up with. And Steve put 4 fish in the boat. I didn't put any fish in the boat last night, so it was all on Steve. But Steve was running a different technique than me. I was just searching for that kicker fish. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So,
See you, Paul. Good luck.
Good luck, Paul.
Good luck,
Let us know
Paul.
how you do, bud.
good luck, Paul.
No,
Send
good luck.
updates, brother. So to me, it just we got our 3, which was our goal. They were all 1.5 pound fish, though. I think we had 5.8 pounds last night in 3 fish. And I got frustrated just because I had frog blowups that I know for a fact probably would have helped quite
Sure.
a lot.
Absolutely.
And I missed them.
Yeah.
But
I
you know,
just missed them.
now, did you miss them or did they miss you?
It's really hard to say. Like, I felt as though that I took the time to do what I needed to do, catch up to those fish, let them take it,
Did you feel weight?
bring
Did
in
you
your
feel-
slack,
yeah, did you
feel
feel
the
the pull?
weight. Yeah, feel the weight, set the hook, and each time, I swear to God, it just
Now, let
pulled
me.
right out.
Do you have them hooked for like a second or two, or is you set the hook?
Nah, he's there for like 1 second. And then,
Oh yeah, you gotta let them take it a little longer.
If you're setting the hook and you set the hook and there's no weight on it, they never had it.
Right.
If you
no, there's
set
weight
the,
on it.
if your rod, and look, put it this way, if to stop the rod,
Right.
you did it right.
You can feel it. You can feel when you hook them when you don't.
I don't realize
Yeah.
it. I send it.
Yeah.
I
And
absolutely send it.
you gotta let them with a frog. You gotta let them take it for a second.
No,
I do.
I
I
don't.
mean, but that's how I feel. If
Nope.
see,
Now
taking
the
up your
frog that I
slack and
fished.
feeling
the frog
whether
I
or
saw
not
last night, no.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say it might be the frog that I use.
Right. Your point.
taking up that slack and feeling whether or not that frog is actually stuck in the mouth of that bass and not stuck in the grass is a big thing. I mean, like if you have, also if you have 2-3 feet of slack out in the water and you got to go set your hook, you're only going to set the hook when your rod is all the way freaking back here. It's not setting it when it's out here when it needs to be.
Oh,
It is a very important characteristic of fishing when you're fishing a frog to take up that slack and then set your hook.
oh, sure, absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
you're gonna miss many bites if you don't.
Sure.
But you're
But
always.
I don't wait to
mean,
feel it.
what? I mean, for
I
frog,
don't
though,
wait
you're
to
always
feel it.
out in front because you're popping it.
For
But
some
when are you
reason-
ever back here trying to set the hook?
Yeah, but I'm saying when you throw it, say that fish grabs the frog and then swims towards you, you have 2-3 feet of slack in the line, right?
Okay, I get that. Okay.
You need to reel that slack up.
Yeah.
You gotta reel down.
Feel that fish.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
I
doesn't
don't
just
wait to
have the
feel.
tail in its
No.
mouth; it's got the
Don't.
body in its mouth.
React to it.
Because say if you're
Couple
setting your
cranks.
hook down here, but it's only making contact with the fish's mouth all the way up here, there's a large peak of transition that you're missing.
I'm
All right.
like Martin
That
says,
hook.
I am very, I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, because, you know, I like flipping, and we've been out fishing, so you know,
Sure.
but I'm like, I feel the bite sometimes when I'm
Yeah.
flipping. No, I can.
You really? You
Oh,
wait?
there's one. Now wait a second.
Oh, I don't wait.
Oh, I do.
So there's actually a really, really
You
good
have
video
I'm with you. I reeled down.
Three,
I don't like
on
I'm telling
the
you,
frog.
I
Yeah. So I don't actually wait to feel the fish.
No.
most of
2-3
the time.
seconds you have to wait.
2 to 3.
2 to
Yeah.
3 seconds you have to
Whoa,
wait.
dude! I'm like a second and a half tops.
No.
Yeah.
wait. 2 to 3
Holy
seconds you
crap.
have to wait.
So I actually watched the video on this, and we'll have to find the link and post it. But there's a video, basically where it's this dude. It's a guy in a lab coat, it's like beige or whatever, But basically, the guy goes through the whole mathematical equation and he says, look, by the time you see it and you react to it, whether you set the hook instantly, the time it takes for you to process visually and like subconsciously decide to set the hook, the fish either has it or they don't, regardless of what the bait is. Now, I think that I'm on your train of thought.
Could you read that?
I reel down and then I jack them. Like, I don't wait to feel it.
No.
If I see the frog floating up, I know I don't have it.
So Mr. Larry Payne.
Yeah, this is good.
So Mr.
Can I
Larry
get
Payne
one?
with Bass Munitions Lures, bassmunitionslures.com, all your soft plastic needs. I'm as commented that I just bought a mold from an old timer that owned a hard bait company. It's a buzz bait that has been made in 14 years due to his health. I will send you one to see what you think. I'm having new molds made of it now.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Yeah,
are
that sounds
definitely
awesome.
that's new news to us directly on the podcast, and I can say right away how much I love the Bass Munitions drop shot worms that we're going through, the Holston worm, and I can't wait to get my hands on some of those baits because I thoroughly enjoy having these baits from Bass
Absolutely.
Munitions in my boat. We also, we gotta I would love to test out some more of the flipping baits, the
Yes.
these trailers and stuff like that. We have a couple of paddle tails here. I would love to get a couple more packs of paddle tails and really put them to the ultimate test for Bass Munitions. Mr. Larry Payne has been making some fantastic baits for us that we have loved putting to the test, and I am definitely impressed with the plastic, and I definitely want to test out some more things. As you guys have seen, we have like 25 bags of the drop shot worms. The plastics have been fantastic. Skylar's got a 4-pound largemouth on it. No, small
Three
mouth.
pounds smallmouth, 3.5, whatever.
I got a 4-pound largemouth. He got a
And he had a
3-pound
4-pound.
smallmouth. Yep.
So, and
Back to
Rob,
back cast.
Rob and Evan took a
Second
second place on the Bass Munitions lure.
Was that the
worms.
solstice?
No, it was the one right after.
It was
wasn't
right after. So, Mr. Larry Payne with Bass Munitions is making some fantastic baits, and I really can't wait to get one of those in my hands. And some of the other soft plastics that Mr. Larry is producing as well are fantastic for your jig trailers, obviously drop shots, Senkos. He's really got it all. You guys got to go on there and check it out.
So he just said, I'm assuming this is about the buzzbait. It used to be a hot bait on the
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Hayes
that was
series,
reading it,
you know,
yeah.
including KVD and Larry Nixon. That's sick.
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
That's
incredible.
exciting.
Also, I think
Can we get like 4 or 5 of them?
We're
I couldn't count that quick, but
we
I'm trying to
definitely,
get one.
we're obviously willing to test whatever Mr. Larry is willing to send to us and put it through its paces. Absolutely, for sure. I will definitely say, let's see, it used to be a hot bait on the KVD and the Larry Nixon. Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, dude has freaking been out there, whatever he's about to develop.
Larry Nixon, KVD.
On some of the
both
professional
have
series, and then
Like
he's
very
also
good.
about to develop some
KVD is KVD.
jig heads and like
Yeah.
swim jig hooks and
Excited for
swim
that.
jig
Very
hooks
excited
and
for
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
Very
You
excited.
guys
very
wanna do
excited
that?
for that as well.
Got to want to do rock paper scissors or something? Wrestling match? What's the deal, dude?
I
Motocross
I just
race or
wanna see
what?
what they look like. I
He
I
has
gotta
to
get my
right
hands
now.
I
on
want to see
one.
some pictures.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Hey, Mr. Larry, I think you have our email or whatever you have. Send us some pictures of that bait, and let's take some pictures of that bait. Let's get it out there. Let's see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. It's
I
going to
want
be
to
a
see you
fantastic, beautiful
motocross.
bait. You don't want to see that.
I want to see you race great. That's all I'm saying. I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, and what loser shaves their head or some shit.
Greg's already got
We can
some
raise
there.
some money doing that, and we can put it towards stocking the road.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
So,
But anyways, I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off.
no, absolutely all good. The Bass Munitions lures have been fantastic, and I have full confidence in anything that Mr. Larry Payne has been sending to us and worked with us. They're everywhere. We got them all over the place. Bass Munitions, bam, fantastic worms in all colors. He's got trailers, crawl trailers, the drop shot worms. Working on some of the swim bait hooks and stuff like that. A lot of things coming your way from Bass Munitions that you guys should really, really look forward to right now. I know for sure that I am looking forward to this stuff. No doubt. No doubt about it. But it is, what time is it, man? We're going up to 10:05.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a lot
10:05,
of
man.
people getting off.
We went live at
going to
8.
bed.
We're at 2 hours and 4 minutes right now. I'm telling you, it's like sometimes we get one here and we chat, we're like, well, maybe we should start a short series. Maybe we should talk about. That was one of my. It's difficult, and I want to bring up our Tuesday. What's up, Pete? I want to bring up.
Oh damn, Pete just getting on, man.
I want to bring up one of the.
Thank you.
I
Larry just said he's
literally
gonna
just
send
I literally just brain farted on what I was going to bring up.
Well, more importantly, Larry's going to send us 2 of the buzz baits.
Can we share them or something? Because you guys agreeing with that shit.
All right.
Can I get a turn with it?
Ground rules right now. If it's not tied on a 65-pound braid, you ain't throwing it.
Fight to the death.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I don't want to lose him.
Yeah. Well,
I already have
I will
65
go
pound
scuba
braids,
diving
so
to
I'm
get it
ready
back.
to
I'm
go.
not going to be the one responsible for losing one
Just-
of the only 2 baits.
Just
we got.
wait till a snakehead eats it.
No, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
I had them destroy winter baits before, but I say we get Tony to do a Bass Munitions plug in the Wrestling Boys, dude, because that shit was classic. Dude. You're not fishing Bass Munitions. Look, he's thinking about it, he's like, man.
You're not fishing Bass Munitions, hopes and worms. Oh, yeah. You're not going to catch them on Thursday night.
Not gonna catch him on Thursday night. That was classic, dude.
We should get a belt. We should get a Bass and Beer Radio belt. Like Team Outcast has the belt.
We should have that for Thursday nighters.
Yes. The
That
Bass
would
and
be
Beer
wild.
Radio Championship belt.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Let's
tight.
do it, dude.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's absolutely do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Walmart to buy a WWE belt for the Thursday
Dude,
nighters tomorrow.
what people don't know is sometimes after the show, it goes on for like another hour or 2, just not on the
It
air.
definitely does.
We get the Bass and Beer Radio belt, and out of us, whoever places, I guess, the highest in the tournament gets to wear it the next Friday.
Or anybody that went to Thursday night. Well, we might get it back. Some
Yes.
people come.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
put anybody's character in play, but not everyone
I mean,
can
some
fish every
people
weekend.
come
Right.
from wherever to fish
Right.
it. Who knows when they're going? They might fish one all year. And they don't want to. Oh, I got to drive back, take this belt back. Well,
Right.
you got to defend it. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Deborah, we'll get you hooked up in the next week or 2. I actually have some of these stickers. These are the only 2 that I have left currently of these stickers. But I have a whole nother order coming through from Sticker Kings. If you guys haven't heard of Sticker Kings, anybody wants to get stickers made, check out Sticker Kings. They make some fantastic stickers. He's really good to work with. And he does a really good job. So he's actually got about 100 of these stickers at Hit House waiting for me right now that I just have to go pick up. So I'll make sure that I try to get some of them out to you next week, Deborah.
Big
And
shout out
anybody
to Deborah
watching the show that
While
wants it, yeah.
you're on, a big shout out to Deborah. She supports everything.
Yeah,
I know she
absolutely.
watches my videos. She's great. And we really appreciate the support. That very big on the
Thank you,
local bass fishing scene.
Yep, and we got to
Yeah.
get some stickers out to Dan too. I got to hit up Sticker Kings again and some of our 3-inch the round stickers.
Yeah,
that
those
we
are
were
nice.
using. We're running slightly low on them, so we got to get them out. We'll send some to Dan. We'll make sure that Deborah gets some, and yeah, man, it's cool. Need Chad to do
Kevin,
that
everybody
voice
wants
for the
stickers.
live weigh-in. See, that's perfect. That's
I'm
what
making
talking about.
Riverboat Rob stickers, new ones, but nobody wants those. So.
Nah, man.
Okay,
We got to do
I
Bass
back
and Beer
on the
Radio with Riverboat Rock.
So I don't know if you noticed this today. I don't know if you found this out yet, but I did link you got to link me back. But now if you go on my page, Bass and Bear shows up.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got to figure that shit
So
out.
I did figure it out today. I didn't, we worked today, so I didn't want to bother you too much. I was too busy. Did you see the Guggen baits? But like if you go on Riverboat Rob now, it'll say like I forget, but related channels or something like that, and Bass and Bear Radio comes up. You can click right on it and go right to Bass and Bear
Okay,
for
right
mine.
on. Yeah, let's
I'll tell you how I did it. So yeah.
get on that.
Yeah.
So I'll trade you that Guggen frog for it you gave us last week. Hey
Did you put a
man,
Guggen frog in that box, dude?
there was a Guggen frog in
That's what
that
he's
box.
talking
That
about.
was a perfect lure for the summertime. Listen, Kevin
Probably-
Kevin probably beat me on that frog yesterday.
Thank you, Deborah. She said she wants a Riverboat Rob sticker. So I'm
I
just
want a
kidding.
Riverboat Rob.
I'm just joking.
But hey, man, we're 2 hours and 10 minutes into this live stream. absolutely love these live streams,
Yeah,
but
great
some of
fucking
us
time.
gotta go to bed.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. I do gotta go to bed.
I gotta work
So,
tomorrow.
I can't hang out.
I want to say a huge shout out to obviously our sponsor, Mr. Larry Payne with Bash Munison's Lures. He's got us hooked up with all the great soft plastics, and they have been fantastic soft plastics. I got the link down there in the bottom left corner for you guys to check out. BassMunitionsLures.com with all of your soft plastic needs. Also, don't forget, go to UMALures.com and check out some of the finest crankbaits on the market.
Yep.
Absolutely no doubt
Awesome.
that some of the finest crankbaits on the market are made at UMALures.com. We have some right here in front of us. We have some video of the UMA crankbaits coming through the water. The deflection rates are insane. He's got a couple different lines of the cranks that he's making, and they're going to be one of the only baits that you see tied on some of my rods through the springtime and through the fall time. And then I would also love to give another big shout out to Tailored Lures from Mr. Warren Taylor. Has sent us a handful of his frogs. I keep this particular frog on the desk here because it is just a beautiful frog. Such well made. The weight system in it is great. The hollow body is fantastic. The colors are fantastic. It's got one of the sharpest and most stiff hooks on it that I have ever felt in the frog fishing world. And this hollow body frog is just an absolute killer. So go on and I don't know if Warren has a website yet, but if you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you shoot Warren a message and inquire about his frogs. Warren will get right back to you and make sure that you get some frogs at your doorstep.
Absolutely.
Also, I believe that Warren has frogs at Edgemere Bait and Tackle,
Yes, he does.
and he
Really?
might also have frogs at what is the tackle shop up there on the left side of Route 1 going towards Susquehanna.
Harford Crab and Tackle.
No.
I know it's I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
Somebody is going to comment and say it. I am brain farting on what it is. On the left side, going up Route 1 in Darlington.
Wait a
I
minute.
know.
Wait a
Tomorrow's
minute.
your
Autumn
birthday?
Sky
Tomorrow's your
Outfitters.
birthday?
Autumn Sky Outfitters. No,
Tomorrow's
it's
your
not.
birthday?
Yes,
You're
it
gonna be
is.
30.
Are you for real? Tomorrow's your birthday?
38, something like that.
Might be.
Tomorrow's your birthday then?
Maybe.
Oh.
28
Yeah.
birthday
So-
punches.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my God. I'm literally going to get beat up by Tony tomorrow.
I'm gonna get jumped.
Well, I mean, it's only 2 hours away.
Edgemere
so
Bait
his
and
birthday
Tackle
then.
and Autumn Sky Outfitters. You can go pick up these frogs in shop if you want to. If not, hit up Mr. Warren Taylor.
Is it
Mr. Warren
Autumn
Taylor will get
Sky?
frogs right out to your door.
Is that the name of Sky? Did I miss it? No.
What's that?
The name of the tackle.
Autumn Sky. Nope.
That's it.
you're
Autumn
absolutely
Sky.
right. Yep.
Everybody
man.
wish Chad a happy birthday before
Yeah,
we get
happy
off here.
birthday.
So, and also before we get off here, my birthday doesn't matter.
It
Here
matters
is the
to us.
overlay, man. Don't forget, we got Tackle Tuesdays coming to you live.
Paul
Every
Batters.
Tuesday now. We're live on Friday nights at 8 p.m. We are live on Tuesday nights now as well on 8 p.m. featuring Paul Batters for all of our Tackle Talk Lives talks. We're going to get really deep into the details of some of our favorite lures, some of your favorite lures. And we're going to talk about some of the freaking fantastic ways that some of these guys have figured out how to fish these baits. We're going to get into the techniques of fishing these baits. We're going to get into the durability of these baits, the hardware on these baits, different ways to fish these baits, color paints on these baits. We're going deep into every detail is what my goal is. Crankbaits, buzz baits, spinner baits, soft plastics, chatter baits, swim baits, you name it.
Frogs.
We're going
Next
frogs.
week is frogs.
Frogs. Next week, this coming Tuesday, we're going over frogs.
I might
That's a
have to
hot
be there for
topic
that
right
one.
now. We got a lot of people that are out here throwing frogs right now, so we thought that it was definitely appropriate to cover the frogs. So remember, Tackle Talk Tuesday will be live at 8 p.m. again, and we're going to go over some of our favorite frogs and give you guys some of the juice.
Yep.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, if you're not listening on Tuesday, you're missing juice.
Yep.
Because the frog is what has been a killer for these Thursday night tournaments recently. And
Just
we're going to
here.
get deep
Period.
into detail with how we're throwing those frogs. not me specifically. Tony took first last week and second this week. Our boy Kevin took first yesterday.
And second, maybe the week.
The
he had a
Frogs-
Paul fish together the week.
The Frogs have absolutely been killing it. Your glasses are sideways. The
I
Frogs have
stopped one.
absolutely been killing it recently. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty of that on Tuesday. Don't miss that. Let me check those out.
See how
You
blind
guys
are.
see those, dude? These things
Yeah,
are
it's gonna
freaking.
blind
These-
you.
Already,
bro.
I was just looking at them from here.
Oh God, that gives me a headache just looking through them.
So just remember to oh my God. Just remember to log into Bass and Bee Radio on Tuesday so that you guys can learn about frogs.
My
Holla.
glasses back. Don't forget to check out Riverboat Drive on YouTube. Also,
Absolutely.
big shout out to all our loyal listeners. I mean, it's really awesome that these guys tune in every week, and I think we have the best audience on any podcast.
I agree.
Our comments,
I agree.
are killer.
You guys crack
Yeah,
us up,
yeah.
and we enjoy it, and we love what you guys bring to us in terms of information, experience, tips, tricks, you name it, and
Keeps the
just
podcast running.
absolutely keeps us running.
Keeps us going, baby.
But
Absolutely.
I think we're getting ready to close her out here. So
Yes.
thanks again for another awesome Friday night.
Bye.
Can't wait to see you guys Tuesday, next
Russell
Friday,
boys.
and next Thursday on Thursday Nighters.
We're dropping 3 days worth of content on this podcast. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to know anything, if I don't know it, I'll find out about it. Shoot us a
Make it up.
message on Bass and Bee Radio. We'll get your questions answered. It don't matter, dude. We'll give you the juice. Let us know. Hit us up. We're here for you guys. This is what it's all about, is helping everybody out in this area and just
Yep.
having fun, drinking some beers, and talking to the local homeboys.
Bunker was on the phone.
Thank you guys very much
And home
for
running.
following the show. Thank all of our sponsors, UMA, Tailored Lures, Bass Munitions. You guys all rock. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
And happy birthday,
Peace.
Chad.
Happy birthday, Chad.
Happy birthday, Chad.
Yay.
28 years around the sun. Let's get it. Let's go.